last session, your main sort of objectives for you guys were to get your arcane focuses back from Ralphrune. While some of you went on to do that, Karnaka spoke to Bearwin alone and tried to look at the possibility of maybe gaining some darker powers from him, and he seemed to be a little bit receptive to that.
Give me your secrets.
Yeah, you got the impression that Bearwin may be hiding something, or he may not be exactly what he appears to be.
Shady recognizes Shady.
Very, very shady. You guys did eventually get all your sort of spell focuses back as you trudged your way up to Valfrune's tower. You noticed that the lower 3 levels of his tower are actually locked and seem to be unenterable. And Valfrune greeted you with his sort of usual boisterous, very sort of commanding, sort of aggressive tone, but he did promise to give you something to aid you, or at least allow him to communicate with you as you made your way into Crag Canyon. I don't think there was anything else you covered off while you were in the village that day, that I remember.
I don't think so.
I think you guys picked up some rations and stuff.
Yep.
Just before you headed out there. And you did have a small chat with Ninaran.
Yes.
Make of that what you will. She seemed to be she wasn't very receptive to speaking to you at all.
Very thick.
she was very sort of keen to be sort of left alone. You also learned from, I believe, Kay, you learned from Sylvana that it was rumored that Saranox, the Green Dragon, had given birth within the last few years.
Oh no.
Ready to sort of set out, you guys did met up with your new party member, Elias Dodge, who is currently in possession of, I think it was 3 potions of healing that Ron handed over to him. And Ralphrune, Savina, you nominated yourself to sort of take the magic item from Ralphrune. As he sort of explained what it was, sending stones. I believe you passed it on to Shay instead, because
Yes. Did I get it?
Yeah. So I think you might have missed it because it happened as Dodge was sort of being introduced as well, and I think it maybe went a little bit under the cover. But
first, I understand you.
Yeah. So you have the sending stone in your possession, essentially, Shay.
That's more about
If you didn't want to contact that's what the sending stone sounds like when he gets a message.
Well, shit, we're going to be found out by the kobolds.
Yeah, so if you wanted to make contact with Ralphrune, you could do via the sending stone if you so wished. So you guys eventually headed out, relying on Elias Dodge to take you where you needed to go. You had to make your way along the sort of Thunder Peaks where there isn't really a sort of path of any sort, but Dodge was able to sort of lead you that way as best he could. You did have to sort of meander into the Hullock Forest and sort of out again at certain points. And at one point, you were greeted by 2 direwolves, where Mr. Dodge kind of got the bare hand of Uramon, shall we say? Yeah, Uramon sort of wanted to sort of point out that bigger is better, but Mr. Dodge essentially got the better view. But the rest of that day went without any sort of trouble, and you guys did manage to rest up for the night. So you guys have finished a long rest at this point, and you guys are essentially ready to head out for the day. So Ramon, you can heal back all your lovely hit points that you lost. Spellcasters, you can change your prepared spells as well if you want. Elias, you would know that it's about another just under half a day to get to the entrance of the canyon. And then from there, you think that you'll be able to make it a good way through the canyon in the other half of the day. You know, you've never tracked the kobolds yourself. It's always been something that Ninaran has been trusted with. So you've never actually gone after them yourselves, but you do know that they, from what you've been told by Lord Pedro, they have a waterfall cave where they have their sort of base, and that's you follow the canyon to a open valley, and then the waterfall is based at the back of that valley, essentially.
Wonderful.
So, how are we guys looking to head out for the day? Marching order, pace, that sort of stuff.
I'll be heading up the back, up the rear.
You're heading up the rear?
I'm heading
Yep,
up the
she
rear.
is.
All right.
I'll be near the front somewhere.
Yes.
Of course you would, Shay.
Dodge will still be up at the front.
Tara will be walking with Savina.
Paramore will walk in the middle, equal distance.
Okay, cool. Tara, you're not going to be walking with Mr. Dodge today?
No.
Lauren had to step back
It's
today.
my turn.
It's Shay's turn.
Okay.
I figure we'll move about a normal pace.
And
Till we
Kanaka,
start heading into the mountains. Once we start heading into the caverns, we'll slow down a bit.
And how sort of tight are you guys holding together as well?
I
Very
lead, they
tight.
follow.
Yeah.
I'm beyond that. I'm not too sure.
So I guess Kanaka really is up to you. How far behind are you? Behind Dodge?
I'll probably be stood like next to Tara. Like I'll probably be at the in the middle back with Tara and Savina, if that makes sense.
Okay. We'll put Orman at the back. He's sort of trying to distance himself from Mr. Dodge himself. Okay.
I'll
Is
work
there
with your mom.
is there any business you guys essentially want to take care of before you head out for the day?
Bathroom.
You can certainly go to the bathroom.
Should have waited earlier. We're on the move.
No, does anyone have to go to the bathroom before we leave?
Because I have not turned this.
Come on!
Oh, God.
Mr. Dodge, how long do we have left until we get to this crag canyon?
Well, from what I've been told, it should only be another half day or so, but I honestly cannot speak from experience in this matter.
Excellent. So we have the person who doesn't know where they're going taking us to the canyon. Great.
Do we
Right.
know if they're likely to have ambushes along the route? Because we were ambushed earlier. I mean,
If you were ambushed earlier, I'd imagine you should safe bet that you might be ambushed again. I think that's a fair assessment.
okay.
Look, they're kobolds. They don't want anybody coming into their hideout. They don't want to see people anywhere near them unless they're being robbed. So just assume we are not going to be given the welcome party.
Kobolds tend to revere me. We shall see.
Would you care to make a wager there, big fella?
Where's this confidence coming from, Ramon?
He's not wrong, though. I mean, the little one, Meepo, he seemed to love Yoromon, if I
He-
remember correctly.
He really did.
He did.
It must be
But
so
then-
nice to have the love of the little ones. Anyhow,
Paramore doesn't respond. He just moves away.
Yoromon will remember that.
Fucking love this. This is great.
y'all are ready.
Yes,
As
I
will
think.
ever be.
Ready
Yes, I
when
think
you
so.
are.
All right.
And you
Let's
guys
roll out.
essentially head out for the day. Just before midday, you start to leave the Halleck Forest behind you. As these sort of trees and saplings lining the side becoming slightly less dominant. As ahead of you, you can see that sort of ribbon-like fissures line a gorge opening. Elias, you sort of stand upon a sort of sand-strewn rock and look out towards what you know to be Crag Canyon, and just sort of welcome the group to the journey that they have ahead of them.
God damn.
As
Birdie.
you can see, a nice sort of stream meanders its way into the sort of rough-hewn entrance of the canyon itself.
Well, I'm not
Actually
one for
beautiful.
going outside much, but this is quite the view.
It
I won't
is.
lie.
If only it weren't for the view waiting for us on the other side.
And now it's ruined.
Yes, let's stay focused. All right. My job is to bring you there. My job is to bring you back. I prefer not to lose anyone on the way.
I think all of us would prefer that. Well, we've seen what you can do with your swords, Mr. Dodge. Let's hope you maintain that composure, huh?
Well, I'm nothing if not consistent.
Ermorn like shrugs and looks away.
Yeah, and at the sort of entranceway, the what looks to be some sort of essentially a slot canyon, wide is 150 feet. But the path that meanders next to the river itself seems to narrow and becomes more uncivilized as you begin to trek your way into it. Plants grow in every sort of which way, leaving minimal room for you guys to maneuver the path itself. The sort of dirt road snakes around ancient withering trees. There is a beauty to it, but it's very sort of raw and it's very sort of barren, particularly compared to the Hullock forest that you guys have just arrived from. And as Mr. Dodge has noted, if the purpose were not so grim, this canyon hike would be filled with beauty. The cliffs, 200 to 300 feet or more, soar above, and the sturdy trees offer greenery along the riverbank as gorgeous granite boulders dot the river. And occasionally you notice a waterfall gently cascades down the side of the cliff. But it is difficult to admire the scenery, knowing what sort of trouble lies ahead. However, it does also offer a brief respite from the sun, as the canyon itself seems to be well shaded. So you do not have to worry about the sort of heat, the oppressive heat of the day. And as you guys follow the road, you notice that it seems to be well traveled by what look to be kobold footprints and cart marks, and it winds its way through the snaking bends of the canyons. And as you arrive at one such bend, I would like you, or those of you in front, so Shay and Dodge, to make perception check.
Damn it.
Nice.
Let's find out how nice.
Let's slow down and stay close. We don't want to lose someone before we get to our destination because you were less than sure-footed.
And with that, as you sort of turn around, your attention is drawn to what appears to be copse of sort of 5 trees catches your eyes 50 feet ahead of you on the other side of the river. And at this point, I'm going to need you all to roll initiative.
Yo, why didn't you guys see him? See them, it, thing.
Let me just move you onto the
Yeah,
page.
that
Actually.
way you can...
So,
Damn, Shay!
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
never rolled that high.
Nice.
No, I'm first. Oh god.
Wow.
What did I do? Oh, look at this map.
okay, those of you that rolled initiative, I'll add you myself.
Oh, Soz.
Oh, this is a cool map. It's like 3D almost.
Ooh.
Oh my god, it's huge. It's quite
Yeah.
big. Shay got a 0. No, I'm joking.
Tara, what did you get?
14.
13. And, Kay, you rolled as well.
I rolled a 25. No, I didn't. I rolled a
Yeah.
9.
No, you didn't.
To
Don't
roll
lie.
initiative for my guys.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, now I'm afraid you guys are surprised for this first round.
Oh no.
Ooh. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Dodge.
Ooh.
Oh
Nice
no.
initiative.
Just
Right.
ignore that.
Yeah, okay.
Why is he
Kobold
writing
writing
Drake? I
Drake.
don't like that.
Yeah, that's a combination that I do not enjoy.
A kobold riding Drake. Jesus Christ. Wait, isn't a Drake a fucking dragon? God damn it, Alex, no!
It's reading a book.
So yeah, as Elias sort of turns around to warn you, your eyes catch movement in the copse of sort of trees 50 foot ahead of you towards the sort of northwest, and all of a sudden you're sort of inundated as rocks seem to be slung from the tree line.
Oh no. Take cover! It's fucking kobolds and they're fucking rocks.
Oh, okay. Is that?
Okay. And Dodge, you sort of turn around as Tara sort of points towards the copse of trees there, and you feel as a rock just smashes you on the side of the face. You take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh,
Ow!
that
Shay,
was
another rock flies over Dodge and smacks you on the side of your skull as you take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
shit!
Tara, another one just skitters into the water just ahead of you, jumping its way onto the sandbar, manages to miss you, and it's sort of Dodge. You turn around to look back to sort of find out what's coming on, and another stone you see as it's just sort of coming right towards you, smashes into your nose as your nose sort of cracks and starts to loosely.
Yes!
Urmon.
No, he wouldn't have
I
laughed.
see how it is, big fella.
You do notice in the
How much damage did I take on that last one?
the last one was another 6, so 12 bludgeoning damage total.
Wow.
Shit!
And you notice within those sort of copes of get your ass back, Shay.
I didn't realize.
Shit, where are you going?
Within the copse of trees itself, you can see these sort of green reptilian lizard-like creatures, very sort of low to the ground, sort of spines going down, and sort of reptilian scales, almost sort of snake-like, but with sort of 4 legs. And you'll see that upon them are the sort of same green, mossy, scaled, sort of gangly kobolds that you've seen previously. You can see they've got sort of there's leather ties around the front legs of the drakes, and the kobolds are stood upon them. The leather ties are wrapped around their wrists, and you can see that they've got slings in hand. They look very mobile to you. Shay, you're up first.
Okay. Oh, wrong thing. Right, so I can. So this one is the one riding the drake. Yeah.
All 4 of them are riding drakes.
Oh, they're all okay.
They're all riding drakes, yeah.
So we're 4 kobolds. Okay, yeah. I guess they're like. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
How high up this hill can I get, or is it like?
So the sort of rocky thing, that's a cliff. It's essentially raising about 120 feet.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So
So-
could I stand here? Is this possible?
Yeah, you can stand there. That's fine. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And I guess at this point, damn, I wish I kept fairy fire. Oh no, I have kept fairy fire. Yes.
Yay!
I cast fairy fire around them. All
Okay.
of them.
So that's
all
a
of them.
dexterity saving
So
throw,
it's
is
got
it?
60 foot. Wow. Yeah, dexterity. Right.
And what's your DC again, please?
It is
700.
13.
Okay, cool. Okay, and you just see as this sort of purple sort of ball of light fires from Shay herself from a sort of holly branch towards the sort of trees, and as it sort of hits the trees, it just sort of explodes. And you can see as the majority of the kobolds and drakes just light up in this sort of a garish pink light. It's so difficult to look at. That so many of them are sort of lit up by this. It's very sort of difficult to note to actually look at itself. You notice that only one of the kobolds and one of the drakes actually seem to have resisted the effect of the spell.
Okay.
Nice!
Right, and then I will look down to dodge, and I will use one of my BAM of Summer Courts on him, because his
Of course
health
you
is low. Shut up! There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Massive run.
Wow.
One
And
hit
one
point,
temporary.
And one temporary.
Yep.
I need to start using more dices at once, because you can get
Aye.
more. You're welcome. There you go.
Would you like to do anything else?
No, that's my turn.
That's my favourite thing. Just rolling
Yeah.
one always.
Okay. Ermon, that brings us around to you.
He would move up and kind of like place himself in front of Elias and like look him over as he's passing to make sure he's not like severely injured. But I think I will hold my action. If they get close enough, I'll take a swing at him with Shatter Spike.
Okay, cool. Tara, it's around to you.
Okay. How deep is that river?
The river here is just sort of meandering. It's no deeper than 2 foot at this point. So it's easy
so
for
we
you to
could
sort of
walk
ford it.
through it.
Yeah, you can ford it nice and easily, not a problem. Ash isn't with you, so it's okay.
Ouch.
Shots fired.
6. She's just gonna run in. I'm just gonna take the dash action.
Dash action, yeah.
5, 6. And as she passes dodge, she would say, "Come on, let's make them pay for touching your pretty face." She's gonna give him inspiration.
She's adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Dodge getting all the attention.
I like to think that like Shay gives Tara the side eye. Like, what you doing, bitch?
I saw him first.
Tara, and as you sort of reach the sort of end of the sandbar there, you see as the Cabal stand up, the flurry of rocks come towards you. As these sort of rocks come towards you, you sort of brace yourself for impact, and you feel as one of them clangs into your shoulder, the other one's clanging into just underneath your sort of stomach there, as you take a total of 7 bludgeoning damage.
That's not too bad.
That's okay.
You see the other 2 just skim into the side, and after the Cabals are sort of loosed their fire, you see as the drakes start to turn around and run up the bank itself.
Mm-hmm.
As the Cabals start to move towards the north.
Damn it!
You assholes.
Planaka, I can see Tara. Dodge has been slammed with these rocks. Tara's taken these rocks, and the Cabals upon their drakes seem to sort of slinking their way to the north away from you at this point.
Oh boy, so they're running away at least.
Running away.
Okay, well, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast one of them. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this little one at the back, but can I target the Drake?
You want to target the drake instead? Yeah,
Yes,
of course you can.
Bueno. Here we go.
Okay, you do have advantage as well, just because of very far.
Excellent. Not that I need it, but
Nice.
still.
Very nice.
Okay,
Kill
cool.
them.
Yeah. So you sort of build this sort of purple and white energy. You flash it straight down the river. You see as it sort of follows the path of the river, the sort of river parting, water just crashing onto the sandbar side. And as it crashes into the side of the drake, it sort of tumbles. The Cabal just sort of pulls on its reins, bringing it back up, keeping it up. So,
Is he? Yeah, you better fall off, you little bitch.
he hasn't fallen off. I just needed to access the token to take some.
Yeah.
And you see as the Cabal, the sort of riding drake itself, sort of straightens itself up, looks back towards you, and you see as the Cabal brings its face sort of back towards the front. Doesn't seem to be phased too much by your attack.
You little bitch.
Would you like to say anything else?
You know what? I should have done this beforehand, but I'm gonna cast Hex.
Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
are.
not. Wait, yes, I am. No, wait, yes. No, I'm gonna cast Hex on the Drake.
Okay. You can have done that before if you want, because I think.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's close.
Because I will. Are you sure? I
Yeah,
don't
roll
wanna
your
do it.
d6. Yeah, good.
Okay, if you're sure. It's just another one. It's just another one.
Another one. Okay. You can
He's
take
dead now,
that.
right?
It's fine.
Damn it.
But you can see as like you're sort of a sort of ethereal raven-like figurine sort of clutched onto its sort of back leg where your Eldritch Blast struck it.
Excellent. And with my movement, I'm gonna run up behind this tree here. I'm behind that tree there.
Dodge.
That's not a bad plan. All right.
It's the only plan I have.
Dodge is going to step forward and pull out his short bow
Ooh.
and shoot at
Do it.
Shoot at the kobold. I'm not. Drake seems too tough. Kobolds are a little squishy. This one that's furthest south.
Cool. Yeah, you got advantage on that one because he does have you can see as he's got purple.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Nice.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you sort of take aim, just sort of stand next to and you just loose. And you see that just sort of fly through the air right into the neck of the kobold. And these kobolds have quite elongated necks. Their sort of bodies are very elongated, so it's easy for you to take aim at the neck itself. You see that it just smashes into its neck, crashing the kobold off of the drake as it falls to the floor. Seems to be unconscious.
Nice.
Ooh.
And
Good job.
then
As you do, it sort of pulls the kobold drake down with it as it's sort of tied to it. It pulls it to the ground, and you see as the drake lands prone on its side.
and after I shoot, I will move forward in front of Shay and just give her a little bit of cover there, and I will.
Thank you.
Squinty eyes.
Heart eyes.
Oh my.
Gonna kill her.
And I'll
Or
I'll
more
just look
attacks
over at-
Elias.
I'll just look over at Oramarn and say, "So you just walk forward? That's your move?" And I'll end my turn.
God damn!
Savina, you notice
Wow.
Idiot's Dodge manages to knock one of the kobolds off from its drake. The other drake sort of lying prone on the floor in the sandbar, about 80 feet ahead of you.
Oh yeah.
I don't actually have anything that goes all that far, so I'm kind of bone zoned here.
Welcome to the bone zone.
Yep, I'm still on ruler. We'll go here, I guess. Far away anyway. Well, that didn't make it. I'll go one more.
I'll go one more. Go, Callie, do it. Kill them.
Dragon. Where's my rope? Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna target this guy. Yeah. He's
Yep.
160. With where's my button for it? Waste knife. Oh, that's not
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Ah.
So you're targeting
There you
the
go.
one middle there, essentially?
this. Hold on. This one.
Oh, yeah, okay, I've still got my ruler on as well. Yeah, cool, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So you sort of just, Callie sort of on your shoulder, and you just sort of go to her mouth, bring out this sort of ice knife, fire it down. You see as it flies towards the bowl, directly into his sort of shoulder, and he turns towards it, tries to pull it out, as it sort of shatters against his. What the hell? Saves. Okay, cool. And as the sort of ice knife shatters, you see as the kobold to the side of the one that was hit by your ice knife just takes a full sort of face full of this sort of shard as it sort of collapses and falls from its drake.
Nice.
He's just sleeping.
Oh.
Of course, the video would say that.
Murderer.
You know, her little caption at the bottom of that spell does not make her seem as innocent.
No.
But
Have you
that's
guys
not-
not been reading them all along? Why do you think Ash is suspicious?
That
Shatter
one
and
was,
die.
that's Callie because all of the ice
Yeah,
magic comes from
I
Callie.
don't believe you. You're
You
an
also
ice
see
witch.
as the sort of kobold pulled it out, he sort of dropped the ice knife as it exploded, and it just pellets into all the sort of drakes as well.
Nice.
Let's see. Cool. Is there anything else?
Hold on. forget where I was when I moved, but I'm just gonna.
You were here.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna move back here.
Sort of just move behind Ormond there. You feel
Yes.
Feet
Bit of a
sinking
no-see
down
no
by the
going
river.
on here.
Shay. You can still see as the kobolds are glowing pink ahead of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Very far. A couple of the kobolds taken care of from your companion.
Mm-hmm.
One of the drakes now prone on the floor in the sand by itself.
I just push past Elias. Thank you very much for the protection, but I don't need it. And I'll just take a longbow shot for this
Alright.
one.
Perfect.
She's a strong, independent elf who don't need no man.
24. So I was aiming for this.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. So aiming for the same one as Savina. Yeah, cool. You pull back and you fire, and you see as it's just sort of looking back up after it sort of dropped this ice knife, just brushing some sort of ice off, sort of turns around, your arrow takes it straight in the middle of its chest, and it just sort of lunges, just sort of falls down and collapses on top of its drake.
Cool. I think that's it. I can't do anything else really.
Okay, at this point, you see
No.
the drake that was sort of not prone, you see as it sort of just gets its teeth and just bites into the restraints that are keeping it held against the sort of cabal. I hear them snap as it manages to break free. You notice the kobolds that no longer have the drakes that no longer have kobolds on start to make their way down the canyon itself. And they sort of disappear out of sight just behind where the canyon starts to bend away.
Sneaky.
Those fucking assholes.
Leaving the one kobold there, he's just sort of looking up.
Oh, he's fucked.
Ermorn will walk past Dodge, not necessarily like brushing into him or anything, but there's a look that is exchanged in passing. How high are these mountains up here?
Yeah, say like 120 feet at the smallest point.
So you can't climb them.
I mean, you can try and climb them.
Take some time.
Yeah, probably quicker to walk around.
Yeah, but I feel like there's like an ambush over there. He'll move up, I guess, and maneuver himself with a dash to get over here. Be on guard as we're coming around this bend. No clue what's on the other side.
Would you like to do anything else?
Nope.
Happy there. Tara. As soon as the kobold drakes, the riderless drakes, now sort of decided to make their way around the bend in the canyon, Urmon is coming up to the left of you. What would you like to do?
Okay, she's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think this is the closest I can get. Let's see, how far is it? 30 feet. Let's do. What the hell? Let us throw daggers.
What?
Throw them
It's
daggers!
about time.
Do it!
First dagger thrown at an enemy.
Yeah, well, I think I have a disadvantage too because they're so far away. But whatever.
You have it? No, you don't have it.
No, he isn't very fired.
Nope, he ain't.
No, man.
Come on, Tara.
Probably not.
Not bad!
Yeah, you sort of
Oh.
throw it towards him, and as he throws it, he pulls the rein on the drake. He sees a sort of drake he lifts it up in the air, jumps in the air, just jumps over the dagger and lands back on the sandbar facing towards you. Gets his sling out ready, throws it towards you.
I would like to do an offhand throw as well.
Oh yeah, you can do an offhand throw.
I don't have it as offhand, but we can if it
That's
even
okay.
hits. Yeah, it doesn't even hit.
That doesn't hurt, no. Yeah, he sees it it brings the drake up and it sort of jumps over the two dagger throws as you throw them. As it sort of lands down, he tries to throw its sling towards you. You see as the rock crashes into the water ahead of you, just skimming past you. With that in mind, he turns the drake around and starts to maneuver his way back around the canyon as well, catching up with the other drakes.
You little bitch.
Kanaka, the drakes now moving out of your sight. You can see the ahead the kobolds litter the street just by the stream.
Yeah. I'm just gonna move up there. Well, oh, yes. Sorry, that's an idea. Yeah. Sorry. I would like to send my birdo up here and see if there are any oncoming assholes that.
Okay, so can't quite get to the top of the cliff because 20 feet, but he can dash to the top.
Like around here, the corner here, to see if there are like any oncoming. Is that just a perception?
Yeah, you make a perception check if you like.
Crit.
Wow.
I love that
you
bird.
sort of send Volatile straight ahead and he soars right along the mountainside towards the bend in the canyon. He notices that he can see the 3 riding drakes on their own starting to make their way around the turn in the canyon itself and the other kobold, but he doesn't see any other foes or adversaries that you should be worried about.
Excellent. So that's Volatoy's movement and action. With the, I probably can't do anything else, so I'm just going to use my action to dash up.
Yeah, cool.
Next to Euromorn, and that's my go. That's my go.
Dodge.
Wonderful. And having no word from Miss K and her weird bird there, I am.
I was literally just getting around to it.
Yeah, well, you ain't quite get there, so I am going to consume one of those wonderful healing potions that was given to me. Because, well, hey.
But what about my healing?
You didn't heal me last turn.
You sort of
Something
brush
else.
off this golden ivy that you found against your skin. Like, what's this? 2d4 plus 2, I believe. If you wish to down a potion.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Yeah, you feel the sort of warmth of this potion of healing down your sort of gullet as you sort of feel slightly invigorated by it. Savina, your comrades are making their way up, following the river. Kobold's now out of sight.
Just gonna follow, and we'll take the dodge action. Why not?
Okay, cool. Shay, that brings us back round to you.
Dodge action.
No.
Mildly inappropriate.
Oh,
Y'all
shit.
are dirty.
Damn it. That's 35. Okay. I'm just going to
yeah.
run my max speed up to here.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. And I can't see this guy because there's like 2 rocks in there. Yeah, I'm just assuming this rock's very high, so I can't see it.
You may be able to like sort of bend around the cliff itself and take a shot at it. But it would have cover.
Wanted style. Let's get that. Fucking curve the arrow, bro.
Yeah. Let's do it. There you go. Okay, I'll use my longbow and try and shoot that kobold.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. You sort of fire it around and you see as it aim is just slightly trying to but you do the opposite instead, and you see as your arrow smashes and breaks into the cliff, just 10 feet short of the kobold itself.
How horrible.
At this point, you notice as the kobold pulls on the reins of the drake that is riding, and sort of flings some rocks at the other drakes, motioning them to move as the drakes begin to make their way back around and move out of your sight.
Damn it!
Damn.
That'll bring us to the end of the initiative as they move well beyond your ability to catch up.
You assholes.
Damn it! There
You
was a
do-
survivor!
You do all gain 12 experience points.
Woo!
Yes!
Well, it is infinitely better to let them escape than it would be for us to have walked into a trap.
Yes,
But now we have a survivor. They
Yes.
will be warned.
they'll be aware if someone's coming.
They would have been either way.
Let's see if we can follow them.
From here on
I'm
out,
gonna
we
send-
need to move as quietly and stealthily as possible.
Can I find my daggers? Well, my throwing knives?
Yeah,
or
you can
I
spend a
don't
little
know.
bit of time just searching around, or picking those up.
Yeah.
That's not fine. You find one of them sort of dug into the sandbar, the other one into a sort of a small tuft of grass in the sort of mud and stuff. A little bit dirty getting them out, but it's all good.
That's fine.
Tara doesn't mind getting dirty.
Nope.
Can I send my birdo after them?
You certainly can. Although you notice as you send Voltor after them, it's difficult for him to sort of keep up to them. They seem to be moving the same sort of pace as him, if not a little bit faster. So it's difficult for him to keep up. But he can keep slightly behind them, if that's what you'd like him to do, and continue to follow them.
I can only see through his eyes at 100 feet, so at 100 feet
Yeah.
I'd lose contact with him.
But yes. And how is Voltor moving stealthily or?
Probably, yeah, quietly, I would.
Okay, so get him to make a stealth check.
Come on, birdo. It's the thing you're good at. Yes, he's such a good bird. I love him so much. Hey, shut up. There's a special relationship between a warlock and its bird.
I was gonna say because every other time that he doesn't do well, you just call him stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Very abusive relationship.
Yeah, but I love him really. He knows I love him.
Okay, how would you guys like to proceed?
Well, I believe Mr. Dodge said we should move quietly and quickly.
Yes.
And as stealthily as we can, yes. That is the plan. What is
Okay,
the deal
sweet.
with your bird, by the way?
I can see through his eye, and we look out for one another. We look out for one another.
That seems like an incredibly useful talent to have in my line of work.
Well, perhaps you should find yourself a patron of sorts.
I will never be beholden to anyone again.
You see, I thought that too. We all have our secrets, Mr. Dodge.
I love how we're all just.
You're on sailor Just a wee walk, and everyone's going to the side having it.
Do we need to roll stealth checks?
Yeah.
You do need to roll stealth check.
Probably.
I was just thinking, I was like, do we need... Oh, Fallout Toys caught up with them. I'm joking.
Fuck!
No!
Oh,
I'm going to give you their advantage.
Group stealth,
Where's
group
the
stealth,
button?
come on.
Here we go.
Be decent, please, Lord.
I'm
Oh, no.
Wow.
too bad.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Wow.
As
Wow.
Volatoy is, do you want him to continue to chase them, or do you want him to stay within 100?
I want him to stay within 100 feet of me, so I
Okay,
know
okay.
where he is. Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually, as he sort of moves on ahead, you can see through Volatoy that the canyon actually breaks out, and the stream breaks up into lots of different sort of separate streams into sort of narrower parts of the canyon itself. There are sort of free paths that you would have available to you to take, all sort of a lot narrower than the path that you've recently taking. And as
Can I see which path they're taking?
they're well ahead of you if you want to keep sort of.
How far ahead is Volatoy of me right now?
I've just kept him 100 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
As he comes into that area, you see as a rock falls beside him, and another one of extreme speed, and then suddenly you feel as a rock just smashes Volatoy's skull, doing 7 bludgeoning damage. Your connection with Volatoy wipes out.
Whoever the fuck threw that, I've got advantage on them. My bird.
Oh no.
Eventually, you guys do end up move the extra 100 feet.
Fuck, did they see him?
Guys end up-
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
Look at these maps.
You see
Wow.
the
So cool.
stream ahead of you, the canyon ahead of you sort of breaks off into these sort of different pathways.
Oh god, yeah. Which
I
way is the
see
river flowing? Like
any
away
tracks.
from us or towards
The
us?
river is flowing
Down.
in a southwestern direction.
Mm.
Map. So yeah, down. You guys are essentially following the river.
Are there any visible tracks for me to follow?
So the whole sort of place seems to be littered with old track. You
Lovely.
can see that towards this area where it's slightly, you can see that there are cart tracks, but cabal tracks are evident everywhere you sort of look.
There are
If you
cart
wanted to, you
tracks.
want to follow the actual. Are you looking for the drakes themselves? For those?
Fresh tracks.
Yes.
If you're looking for those, you can give me a survival check.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Nice.
You can see that the drakes themselves seem to follow this path. This path.
I'm sorry, you cut out there. What?
You can see the drakes seem to have followed this path here. Be sort of the more northern western path. Map itself.
This one?
This one.
Let's take the other one.
That just seems counterintuitive.
I'm not here to be intuitive. I need to find the fucker that killed my bird.
Now,
You'll find him, I'm sure.
we are looking for a waterfall. So, at some point... Well, now that doesn't make any sense either.
I mean,
The
hearing-
river's
hearing
flowing
it
the
would be-
wrong way for there to be a waterfall.
I think it could. Is it like a falling down waterfall, or is it like?
Well,
I mean,
there's a,
wait,
there's
oh,
a
that they all
cavern.
fall.
There's a cavern behind a waterfall, and that's where we're supposed to be going. But the river is flowing the wrong way for there to be a waterfall.
So
Well, so we might have to climb down on the side of the waterfall if we find it.
Perhaps.
I don't like the sound of that.
Or we could take a swim.
can't
No.
turn into water like swimming animals yet. This is not appropriate.
Now, which way were the cart tracks, the wheel tracks?
So the cart tracks are this way here, and the riding drake tracks are this way.
Hey, Alex, I think you might be on
I
the
don't-
GM tab. It's not
Yeah.
pinging.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I am on the GM tab. Yeah. Okay. So cart tracks here, and
All right.
Cabal riding drake tracks there. Sorry.
No problem.
Well noted.
Now there are cart tracks moving to the south, and I find it hard to believe that they would not also be leading to the kobolds. Perhaps each path ultimately leads where we need to go, but honestly, I cannot be certain. There are too many tracks here.
Perhaps we should split up.
That's the worst
that's
idea,
never-
Kanaka.
that is never
I
a good
know,
idea.
I'm joking. Oh my god, would you really believe that I would say that?
Yes, actually.
Big man, you're a dragonborn. You got any inkling about where your devotees might be?
Well, I'll be honest, the first time I've met them was only a few weeks ago. I'm not too familiar with their kind or their dealings. I was raised by humans.
So what you're telling me is that was all just bluster back down the okay, I follow now. Well,
They seemed to revere me. This was not a tall tale.
We were all there. We saw how the kobolds reacted to Ramon.
Alright.
But yes, I will say I'm about as useful as you in this situation.
Well, we could put it to a vote. Either we head south or west. To the tracks or the Drake footprint.
Look, if we follow the Drake footprints, they're going to be expecting us. Alright, I mean, that's just a simple fact. They knew we were coming. So, our best bet, I think, is to go the other way.
I agreed. I just thought I'd make it democratic, you know?
Ugh, democracy.
Okay, so which way are we looking to go?
We are going to go down this way.
Following the cart path.
And
That is still way I'm leading.
Yeah.
Okay, the dodge you're going to lead?
Yes, and very.
Eremorn will walk up with him.
Okay.
Yep.
Very slowly.
I'll
Keeping
go behind a little
Dodge is keeping his
cautiously.
eyes out, making sure that there are no more ambushes or anything. Like he's as alert as he can possibly be with a large, semi-emasculated dragonborn standing next to him.
Yep.
Savino, I would like Callie to make a perception check.
Okay. That sheet open. Sheet. Wisdom +4.
Oh, dang.
Very
okay.
nice.
So 22.
As Callie is standing on your shoulder, you see her, she's sort of, nipping at your ear and looking up towards the sky. And as you cast your gaze towards the sky, a shadow overhead catches your eye as something flies across the canyons. Difficult to make out, large birds or eagles perhaps, but they pass overhead again, this time slightly lower. And I'm going to need y'all to make initiative rolls.
No! What are you doing?
Is this what I fear it's not?
Oh, it better not be a fucking dragon, I swear to God.
As you can see, up in the sky, there are the kobold-looking figures that have these really sort of gangly sort of wings that look like they're about to be sort of ripped off. They're really just sort of light sort of membrane, this horrible sort of green sickly color that fades into yellow towards the bottom as they sort of soar overhead 120 feet above you. And you can see that within their belts they have these sort of flasks that sort of glint and shine a little bit like the sun.
Oh, the fucking winged kobolds. Sorry.
They are
I got
indeed winged
excited.
kobolds.
Sorry.
Well, you said they would look like kobolds with wings, so that's a safe assessment.
I think I need to re-roll initiative. Or did you get? I didn't click the token. Yeah, okay.
What did you get originally?
I got a 20.
20.
We can add that in.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay then, Shay. You see as Savina sort of points to the sky and you see small figures flying overhead. Difficult to make out as they're sort of so far above you. They're sort of 120 feet above.
What?
Well, I think my longbow can still hit that far, can't it? Pretty sure.
I believe it can.
Yeah, so I'm going to shoot them.
Which one are we aiming for?
Let's see. This one's catch my... Oh.
Damn!
Nice.
Very nice.
Sorry, I missed which one you were going for.
Oh, This one. The
Yeah, cool. That's fine. So you sort of aim up. You see as your arrow, your strike is true. You see as it sort of the kobold sort of flying towards you. Your arrow just digs right into its neck. And you see as it sort of crashes to the ground, and as it crashes down, the flasks shatter, and a small sort of explosion is.
Ooh.
Ball of fire just spreads from the body of the kobold itself
Alright.
in a 10-foot radius.
Ooh.
Oh god, that's so close!
Just Dodge, you can just feel the heat of the explosion as it sort of shields your eyes to avoid the sort of impact of.
Oh shit! Don't do what I did.
Shit, we need to fuck his bread. Oh shit!
Okay.
It's a little
Shit,
late for
yeah.
that.
With my movement, Xanavi's movement, I'll just move over here. Or spread out.
Yep, cool.
Yeah.
Savina, this sort of small, compact explosion is just fired ahead of you. Sort of stream as this kobold has fallen to the ground from Shay's attack.
Alright. I have a series of actions I'd like to do, and I'll let you decide if this works or not.
Okay.
I'm just gonna move back here.
Nope, that doesn't work. Can't do that. Sorry.
It's spacing. Gotta be careful.
You know what Steph said.
My bonus action is I'm going to cast. Where's my button? Dragon's Breath on Callie.
Yep, that's cool.
Then I'm gonna make her double move with her action. Can she
Yes.
reach the kobolds with a
Whereabouts is she?
120 fly speed?
She's got 120 fly speed. If she goes sort of diagonally, she's probably going to be about just 10 foot away from the closest one, which is.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. So she'll fly straight up. And then with my action,
Yes.
she's going to use Dragon's Breath.
Okay, cool.
Fucking
So I'm making a dexterity saving throw. Is that right?
Yes.
There's
There
an
it is.
awful lot of
Okay.
us caught in this radius here.
You sort of send Callie up, and as you sort of send her up, you sort of use your sort of magic, and you see as the sort of frost is just building in her breath, and it just sort of see as it sort of starts to freeze over, she sort of accelerates past the rest of the group, unleashes it upon this kobold ahead of you, and you can see as the kobold's wings start to stiffen up and start to freeze as it drops and falls to the ground.
Oh no.
And as it does so,
Oh god.
I didn't think this through fully.
come on and dodge. You hear a smash, and then suddenly your body's overcome with heat as the kobold hits the ground. Urmon, you can make your dexterity saving throw with advantage for your danger sense.
Dio!
Dodge just a normal dexterity saving throw for yourself.
Take 20.
Yeah, cool,
Aaron.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Seeing what had happened previously, you guys just sort of duck down to the ground and try and just sort of pull as much sort of mud your way to sort of protect yourself before the kobold hits the ground. And you see as the fire just sort of glances over you, as sort of unaffected by its heat.
Sorry.
Ermorn's used to it. Everybody hits it with things.
You did good, Savina.
Tara, that brings us back around to you.
Yeah, and I can't do shit. They are too far away, those cowards. Literally nothing I can do. Yeah, she's gonna get out her weapon. Well, no, actually, she's gonna cast Warding Wind.
Ooh, there you go.
Okay,
Ooh,
cool.
yes,
At
yes.
least, like, keeping us somewhat safe from range attacks. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you all feel as this sort of wind starts to build around Tara in a 10-foot radius, making it difficult for any of you that are around her to actually sort of move out of that radius as the wind starts
Tara,
to
not again!
pass around her. Give her a nice little. Okay, so anyone within that area unfortunately does have difficult terrain. As the wind is sort of impeding your movements.
And we're deaf.
Communication's key.
Seeing this whole swirling wind build up between from Tara, Kobold here, which this Kobold you notice has this sort of shadow of Volatoi above it, indicating that this is the one who was not able to kill Volatoi. Shay, you see as it sort of flies towards you, it sort of grabs this flask out from its belt, lobs it down towards you, and needs you to make a dexterity saving. You feel as the flask smashes upon your shoulder, and as it hits you, you take 1 bludgeoning damage from the impact, and you feel as the sort of heat starts to engulf you, and your sort of skin feels like it's on fire itself. As you take a further 3 fire damage.
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's not the worst.
It's a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
And you can feel as the fire, it just seems to be slightly unnatural to burn away at you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
So I'm on fire.
You are pretty much on fire.
Okay. My hair!
What is that smell?
This other Kobold will fly up, throws another sort of flask down in between Karnaka and Dodge there, requiring the 4 of you to make dexterity saving throws. You can have advantage from Warding Wind spell though.
Advantage, sorry.
Yeah, you've all got advantage on this.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll date with them 20s, baby.
Tara, that doesn't include you.
Wait, what? Oh, sorry.
Dex save.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh no!
Oi, 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 oi.
It's my
You
day,
hear this
so-
sort of smash as this sort of glass flash smashes on the floor, glass flying everywhere in Tara's Warding Wind. You feel as it sort of slightly cuts you, not enough to do any sort of lasting damage to any of you. But Tara, you feel as because the wind is coming from you, it picks up the fire and just flings it right towards your body.
Yeah.
As you take 2 fire damage, and you feel as your skin is starting to burn, the fire sort of building its way around your body.
Yeah. Let me roll a d20. I'm keeping concentration up, so I
Okay,
wouldn't
cool.
go there.
Lovely stuff. Urmon, that brings us around to you.
I'd really like to use the winds to help me fly into the air and cut them. If that was possible, but I'm doubting that. There's not a whole lot that he can do, so at this point, I think he'll step just out of the range of the wind and motion towards both of these kobolds and kind of growl at them to get their attention. And then I want to, if possible, ready in action. If they throw this at me, can I try to catch it?
Ooh.
Yeah, okay,
Hot
cool.
potato.
Yeah, you can do that.
I would like to do that.
Okay,
If
cool.
they're alive by the time their turn comes around.
Kanaka, brings us around to you.
Yes. Did you say that I could see Volatoy's form hovering around this
You
house?
can, yes.
My eyes go black, and I'm gonna Eldritch Blast that motherfucker out of the sky.
Okay, cool.
Do it.
So you have advantage, Toby? Is it advantage you get?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Die.
Nice.
You sort of move out of just slightly to the edge of sort of Tara's Warding Wind, and as you see this sort of Kobold slightly drop down and drop its sort of flask towards Shay, you just send this blurring purple energy up, and you see as this sort of shadowy form of Volatoy just sort of picks it up and just sort of forces it into the underbelly of the Kobold.
You little bitch!
You just hear this scream as this Kobold just sort of burns up. Its flask exploding in the air.
That's how it's
the full
done.
impact of your spell.
I cover my eyes.
Jay, you hear a sickening crunch as it lands on the boulder beside you.
Ew.
And I
Dodge.
just step just outside of Tara's warding wind.
Yeah, and then back in.
Yeah, the wind is messing with my hat and the shot. So
Just trying to catch it
I'm
and stop it
just-
from sort of flying away.
I'm gonna wade out into the water for a minute. Now, did he drop the flask from 120 feet?
They are dropping the flask, yeah.
All right. So then I will have to attack with my short bow with disadvantage because it's over the first range.
Yeah, you sort of line up with your short bow.
But I'm gonna
Right,
use
fire
my
away.
inspiration on that.
Okay, cool,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
I don't want to
you
look bad
fire
in front
up.
of Oromorn, you know.
I see as it, the Kobold's attention's focused on one at this one. It seems to be diving down towards him as your arrow sort of slams into his back just above his sort of lower part of his spine. And you see as it just sort of hurtles towards the ground. Its flask falling from its belt
Oh shit,
as
I'm
they
in the range.
smash against the ground there.
You saw Ermorn super excited as the creature was diving towards him. He was like, all right, here we go. And then he just dives and he's just, no!
You sort of dive towards it, trying to catch the flask, but you're unable to. You are able to, you've sort of seen a couple of them fall now. You're able to sort of get an idea of the pattern behind them, and you're both able to sort of scurry around. Urmon, you scurry onto that boulder behind you, and Dodge, you sort of scutter towards the cliff towards your left, managing to avoid the impact of the.
Yeah, as it
Blast.
explodes, I just look away, you know.
Just walk away from the
Just walk away
explosion.
from the explosion.
Damn, this
Just-
bastard's cool.
Shay,
Yeah.
you feel as your body is completely on fire.
Yeah. Oh, look
Um,
how bad.
As you take a further 1 fire damage, you sort of skin burn. You see the sort of fire building up upon you.
Stop, drop, and
Mhm.
roll. Stop, drop,
Yep.
and roll.
Oh, I just run for the river. I just plunge myself in.
Okay.
Little
cool.
did we know the river is made of gasoline.
No.
I do need you
I'm now
to
dead.
make a.
Gasoline.
I just need you to make a dexterity check for me.
Okay.
She gotta fucking drown herself.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you start to just jump in the river, roll around, and you feel this a cooling sensation fills your body as this,
Okay.
the burning sensation fades away.
Right.
Uh,
How much hair have I lost, though? That's the important question.
your hair seems to be fine. It's a little bit singed,
Okay.
but
Alright,
the pain itself was sort of building around your sort of torso.
Alright. And as I just like lay in the water, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself
Oh,
because I am not looking good.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Your hair's a little bit damp at this point, though. It sort of
Yeah.
frizzle up. Savina, you can see through her wooden winds, Tara's looking pretty rough. You can see as this sort of fire is sort of engulfing her body as it's sort of using the wooden to attack her.
I don't know how big those flames are
It's-
because I might be putting myself out because
It's
like,
bigger than a torch size.
damn it.
Your wooden wind will help if you try and pit it out. You'd have advantage, but obviously Savina is able to act before you. So.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you acted at the same time, so
I'll like walk into the wind, like trying to hold my hair out of my face, and I'll take my water skin and try and like put
Oh.
Tara out.
okay. Tara, because you guys are acting at the same time, is there anything you want to do as well?
No, she would have stopped, dropped, and rolled, but if she gets put out by Sabina first, she would just stay
Savina-
there. Just
Savina,
let her
make
do it.
Make a dexterity throw as well. You can have advantage.
We'll do both. It can't hurt.
A save?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
make a dexterity one as well.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Savina, you sort of chuck this water on Tara, and for a minute the pain sort of intensifies as you take a further 1 fire damage, Tara. But then you sort of drop to the floor and you sort of focus your ward in wind. You manage to sort of roll around and extinguish the flame, minimizing any sort of further damage.
Nice. Okay, I guess I'll drop my spell.
Nice.
Ermorn would offer to help Shay out of the water.
Thank you.
And you guys gain 33 experience. No, wait.
33.
Yeah, 33 experience points for that one.
33.
That's
Someone do math.
95.
Yay! My brain did math.
Well done, brain.
Yeah.
You little
Ugh.
bastard. Can I check this guy's body to see if he's got any more of those flammable flasks on him?
You can see sort of broken bits of glass where the flask they had on exploded. Hit him. He doesn't seem to have any sort of flask on him. He does, however, have a collection of stones.
Bastard. What
I'd
about
like to
this
take a potion of healing. I have 2 of those.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take one.
Yeah, anyways, roll 2d4 plus 2.
I'll take the one towel that I brought with me. And I'll just offer to like towel Tara off from the water.
As I walk over, drink.
Well, Tara was closer.
Ermorn will reach into his backpack and pull out his bedroll.
Oh, thank you very much.
You can use this.
I can
Oh, sweetheart.
That'll be I'm very appreciative of that, Ramon. Thank you. And I like tie it around my head like a weird like shower rat.
What the?
Look, if it's all right with
Bedroll
y'all,
the size of Uramorn around your head.
Yep.
it's a lot of hair. If it's all right with y'all, I'd like to be moving and quick. I can't promise we won't be attacked by more of those flying whatever the hell they were. Flying
Agreed.
lizards.
Kobold.
The flasks were quite threat. We should be wary of those next time. Try not to be as clustered from now on.
Do any of these fellas have any of those little flasks left?
No, unfortunately not. It seems like the impact of hitting the impact of the attacks that you guys are unleashing on them. The only thing you do notice is that they do have stones.
Bastard.
So again, we are going to try to move stealthily through here.
Yes.
Try and fail miserably.
Where, I mean, if they're going to look down from above, there's very little we can do. But at least we can try to avoid any ambushes that might be set.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys can all make stealth checks.
Come on, guys, we can do this.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Did I mention it is me today?
Alex gave you those dice from Tuesday.
Damn it. Oh.
Okay. You start to make your way down. Savina and Tara are a bit hesitant of the water, and so rather than sort of moving the sort of stealthiest path, they're moving a path that means that they can avoid the water as much as possible. And where the sort of canyon narrows a lot, it's very sort of difficult, and they keep sort of knocking rocks and sort of bits of this sort of earth and like clay away from the bottom of the canyon itself, which continues to make a consistent volume of noise, which makes it difficult to go any sort of form of stealth.
Ugh.
Eventually, you see as you follow the meandering stream, a good sort of hour and a half, the canyon begins to widen again, and now you see as the narrow streams all converge together to form a trail that to form one sort of large stream, roughly 30 feet wide. And the trail actually vanishes as the stream, dotted by sandbars, fills the slot canyon itself. Gorgeous sheer cliffs tower 200 feet or more, flanking either side of the river, and the shadow stream is flowing gently, and you find it slow going. It's very easy for you to ford at this point. And you guys press several hundred feet onward. You find a bend and see another gorgeous little waterfall 200 feet ahead. It's very easy for you guys to forget your grim purpose, surrounded by such beauty.
It's glorious here.
So we should
Such a
come
nice
come
place
back
it-
here and paint.
Sprinkle
maybe-
a little snow and it's like home.
Your home has kobolds that drop flasks of fire on you.
Well, I guess that is a little different. No, not so much.
I know it's pretty, y'all, but could we please stay focused? I mean, we're here for
We're quite
kobolds and missing children and all sorts of things. Could we please just
We
focus
can
on our
handle
task?
ourselves. It's okay just to have a little look at the nice things in life. A little.
You must realize, Mr. Dodge, a lot of us have not been on this side of the world before.
No.
These views are relatively new to us.
Ain't about this side of the world, ain't about these views. It's about having something that needs doing.
It's about taking in the beauty when you can.
Well, I'm fine with killing kobolds, so
Now
maybe we
that's
can
more
go
like it.
somewhere where they're not on drakes, where I can actually hit them.
That's
Yes.
what we're trying to find. We'll find you something to kill,
Well-
Tara. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna check out that waterfall over there, actually. I
Oh.
know that their hideout is behind the waterfall, so let's make our way in this direction here, and please do try to be quiet as we enter the water.
Yeah, and at this point, the stream is deep as you approach the latest fall. You can see that the waterfall is 200 feet ahead of you at that point. Dodge is talking to you. And it's sort of fed up by a mountain runoff. It forms into a series of waterfalls that cascade down to a plateau that is sort of 150 feet above the canyon floor. As you approach within 50 feet of the waterfall, you notice you have to ford the area itself. And as you are fording the area, you hear a horrible crashing sound from ahead as rocks start tumbling from above. What appears to be a rock
Of
slide.
course they do.
But the rocks themselves are the least of your worries, as following the rocks is a wall of water, as the gentle waterfall has gone from gentle to rapid to massive, and the slot canyon around you begins to flood. As I need you to roll initiative for me.
Oh,
No.
Water.
it's a water fight!
Yeah. Love it.
Oh, Jesus
Wave
fucking
pool
Christ.
today, wave pool, y'all.
How the fuck did I roll a 2? Jesus fucking Christ. Shit.
I mean,
Your Ramon got higher than me. He crit failed.
I is sad.
Shit, I don't have a pen. I need a pen.
I was literally about to say to you, I've got one and hand one to you, but then I was like, I can't do that.
Here you go, buddy.
Here you
Brilliant.
go, Alex. Oh, wow.
Okay, I think you'll be fine. I'll figure it out. Okay, so you can see as this rush of water begins to flood the canyon. You get the feeling that you've got small time to act before the water becomes too much for you guys. You start to get drawn down and dragged down by the actual flood of water itself.
okay.
You have one round to take action prior to being overwhelmed by the flood. Dodge.
How close am I to the nearest bank?
You can make a perception check to see if you can make anything out. Yeah,
Oh,
cool. So
damn.
you can see just about 50 feet ahead of you, the right-hand side, there seems to be a small sort of bank that seems to be 10 feet above the water. But you think in no time at all that's going to be flooded. The amount of water that's actually coming down from the waterfall itself. You think that you guys this could flood the canyon to sort of depth of 20 feet. And there doesn't seem to be anything that looks like it's necessarily a good place to stop. You do notice some sort of indents into the cliff wall itself. I think maybe if you sort of aim yourself, you may be able to grab hold.
Well, then that's what I will do. I will use my movement and I guess my bonus action to dash and get to where I need to be.
Yeah, so it's difficult for you to sort of forward because you're the rushing. Your movement is sort of half speed, so you're unable to actually make it to the bank.
Well, then I'll
but
use
I
my
will-
action to dash.
Yeah, even with your dash, you're still sort of unable because it's 50 feet away. But I will take that in count when
Well,
it comes
it's
to the next one.
movement dash action, and then cunning action, bonus action, dash.
Oh, you have, yes, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, you can make two, and you
Jeez.
grab hold of the cliff face itself, bracing yourself for the impact.
And, well, I can't do anything else like get out my rope or anything, so I'll just... That's it. I've used everything I got.
Okay, Shay.
I heard what Karnaka shouted.
So Karnak hasn't shouted yet. It's not her turn.
Damn it! Oh. Well,
You can see that she's rumbling in her back or something. I just say that. You can see that I'm rumbling in my back or something.
I mean, shit.
Wait,
Can I
Dodge didn't move. Where?
Yeah, it's okay. You
No,
don't actually have to move. I've just
It's
kept you on
not
this map.
right here.
Stuff.
Okay.
Where is he went?
No, this is just all in your mind, guys.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
I
Well,
just
that's
had you here
just
so you can roll for initiative. Sorry.
It's
I
the
mean-
land of make believe.
I'm so confused. God, what did I do? I don't know what to do. So what did Dodge do? Did I see what Dodge
You
did?
can see Dodge forced his way through the river and started taking lightly. Made his way towards a cliff face where you can see sort of dig into the side of the cliff face, looking to brace himself for the impact of the waterfall itself.
Okay. I could turn into a giant goat.
When
You
it's
got
out,
something
go,
that
go.
swims?
No, not
You
yet.
can't.
I could be
But a
heavy.
20-foot goat.
I mean, and I'm heavy. People can hold on to me. No, I don't know. I'll just copy what Dodge did, I guess, and try and mimic him.
Okay, so you can try and make your way towards there. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You think you see what could potentially be a good spot. It's not quite. You're not able to make as much distance as Dodge was able to make through the through the waterfall itself. You're only able to go sort of 35 feet total, but you do make yourself to the sort of side of the cliff face, and you see what you think is a nice sturdy sort of branch sticking out from the.
And I just hug it.
Take hold of that. Tara.
Okay. Is there like a tree or something that I can climb to, like, just to get higher?
You can make a. There's no sort of trees at this point. It's very sort of. The canyon itself, the river itself, is sort of banked up against the side of the canyon walls.
Okay, but
so there's
can
no
I climb
trees
a canyon somewhere?
You can try and climb the canyon wall that you're next to if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make an athletics check. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, you try to sort of like cling to the wall itself, but also that sort of rapidly filling this area. It's made the canyon walls sort of very sort of wet and sort of it's become this sort of wet earth-like substance. It's sort of slipping as you try to make your way up, and you sort of fall back, and you actually fall prone back into the water.
Oh no.
Damn, guys, I'm gonna drown. Yeah, I think that's all I can do, right?
That is all you can do. Savina, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try and make myself make a save because I have background issues with this. We'll do charisma. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Sabina's just sort of frozen in terror.
Yeah, your knees start sort of
No,
buckling
crap.
together.
Like
Shane.
her eyes just start to water, like
Yeah.
she's crying.
Ermon, now you can hear the clicking of Savina's knee behind you. You can see as some of your other comrades have tried to make their way to higher ground or try to get hold of any sort of firm purchase that they can make.
Okay, so I see that Karnaka and Savina have both not moved.
And
I
Tara's
can't
gonna
yet!
go on their ass.
Uramorn will place himself kind of in front of them.
Yep.
I have a plan. I don't know if it's going to work. I want to plant Shatter Spike into the ground very firmly with the edge facing where the water's coming from. And then I'm going to try to expel as much frost breath as I can, turning the water into ice and allowing Shatter Spike to like cut through it, I guess, and make like an ice dam as the water is pushing the slicing ice. Is that possible?
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. So you're going to just slam Shadow Spike into the ground, then do your Frost Breath to try and make a sort of ice raft, I guess?
Well, it's going like as the water's coming, he's going
Yeah.
to frost breath the small area that he can.
Yes.
But as the water is pushing that, it would just move that ice block. So Shatter Spike will cut it, splitting it down the middle because the blade would be in the center, and then he's going to keep trying to breathe. So like it's shearing it on either side of him until there's a large buildup of ice to be able to stop the water.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you could certainly do that for a turn, but you don't think that you would be able to keep it up for much longer, particularly with the force of water. But you can certainly do that for this.
If it
first
could
turn
buy
coming up.
everybody some time, he will do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. So you sort of do that. Savina Kanaki, you see as ahead of you, Uramon's managed to sort of buy some time as he manages to sort of split the water itself with his sort of ice breath and shadow spike.
Wow.
And
No matter
this
what
would
anyone says,
happen.
Euromorn is much better than Mr. Dodge. I tell you that.
My Discord melted. What happened?
He's just roaring.
Essentially, Uramon is just slam shadow spike. I mean, see as he's sort of exhaling as much frost breath as he can, putting all his sort of effort into it. His sort of lungs are sort of starting to turn red with the sort of effort of his scales sort of turning red for the effort that he's sort of exerting. You'll see as he's managing to split the path around. As you see, the water started to flow beyond Savina and Karnaka from the effect that he's sort of exerting.
I made a little ice dam, kind of.
He's so cute.
Okay, Karnaka, what would you like to do?
So Kay's been rummaging around in her bag for like the last 6 seconds, and she pulls out Quall's feather token. She looks to Savina, she looks to Euromon, and then she sees fucking Tara on the floor swimming in a fucking puddle. I have to ask a question. Would you allow it as a bonus action for me to go up to Tara and drag her back a little?
Drag her back a little.
A little, like 5 foot.
So Tara's about 10 feet away from you, so it costs
Yeah.
20 feet of your movement to get to her. And then for you to drag her, make an athletics check.
Oh no. I thought it was a 5 foot map.
It is, but this map isn't where you actually are.
Oh, okay.
We're in our minds right now.
Athletics. Theater of the mind.
The
Athletics.
theater of
Where
the
are we?
mind.
There we go. 10. A nice 10. Good solid 10.
10.
Yes.
As you sort of move out of the area that are gapped for you, the water just smashes into you.
Oh no.
And you're unable to make it to Tara with your movement, unfortunately.
Okay, that's my movement. I'm gonna shout, "I'm sorry, Tara!" And I'm going to slam the Quall's feather token into the ground, holding on to Savina's shoulders and Euromon's shoulders, and I'm gonna wait for the 60-foot oak tree to rip us into the air.
Okay, it goes 60 feet up, yeah?
Yeah. And it makes a 20-foot branch, so I don't know if that would
Nice.
I don't know if that would bring Tara up with us, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it would bring Tara up with us.
Okay, yeah, I think it probably would. Tara,
Oh my
let's
God,
get you to
amazing.
make
Oh
a,
god.
Tara, you can make an acrobatics check
Oh.
with disadvantage.
Nine?
I give Tara my inspiration.
Hey!
Even that'd still just be a 9.
Oh,
I
yeah,
give
that's
Tara
true.
my inspiration as well.
Oh, shit.
It'd still be a 9.
It's still just a 9.
Why can't we double it?
Ermon, you see as Karnaka behind you puts down this small token, and she sort of just, you're not really sure how to activate it, so you smash it and just go, fucking grow! And as it breaks, this massive sort of oak tree just erupts 60 feet. I do need the rest of you to make acrobatics checks as well to try to grab hold of the tree itself.
Do I need to make one?
Yes, you will need to make one as well.
Bollocks.
Do I make another one?
No, you don't.
Oh, okay. I was just confused.
Okay,
Here's
that's
hoping.
Okay, cool. You all sort of, Karnaka, you instantly just grab onto the fire. Savina, you managed to muster enough conscious enough to be aware of what's sort of going on. You just sort of lunge on top of the tree as it starts to erupt outwards. On one hand on Shatter Spike, you grab a branch as it goes past you, lift Shatter Spike out and just hold on as the tree pulls you up. Tara, you try to scurry and jump onto the tree, but you crash again into the ground, still landing prone.
Just find to respond like. Blah, 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 blah.
As you guys all sort of prepare for the impact of the water. The water just continues to sort of crash as it starts to build up to 20 feet. Dodge, I need you to make a strength athletics check.
Oh, that's gonna be bad.
Come on.
Big 0 modifier
You
incoming.
do have advantage.
Oh.
Big
Oh,
money,
well.
no whammies.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay.
You feel as the water just crashes into you, and you're trying to grip on, and you feel as you're digging your fingers in as much as you can, but you're losing your grip, and you feel as you're just flung down. Your head crashes against the bottom
Oh,
of
no.
the riverbed as you take 6 bludgeoning damage,
Oh boy.
and your body just tumbles 100 feet downstream.
Oh.
That's okay.
That's
Oh,
You can
no.
always walk back up. I mean,
And you are not prone. No, you're not prone, but you're currently still feel the weight of the river building upon you. Shay, I need you also to make an athletics check. You also have advantage.
oh no.
calm
You
down,
feel as it
Shay.
crashes into you. The twig that you're suddenly snaps as you take. You feel as your body poosh, crashed into one side of the cliff, poof, crashed into the other side of the cliff as your body tumbles 100 feet down as well as you take 11 bludgeoning damage.
11 shit.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh!
I got low health, guys.
Tara,
Mm-hmm.
you feel as the water just is crashing in amongst you as you start to feel yourself sink underneath the water as it reaches its
I'm
20 feet height.
panicking.
You may need to make an athletics check with disadvantage.
This is the time to.
No!
And you feel as your body is just dragged down the river, dragged right down the sort of base of the river, consistently slamming your back of your body poof, 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 against the bottom of the river as you two tumble down 100 feet as you take 6 bludgeoning damage.
I'm drowning, guys.
It's looking like Christmas.
And you still find yourself prone as well.
Oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Savina, you see yourself. The oak tree that you're stood on is quite sort of shaky, a little bit unsure of impact as the water crashes into it. I do need you to make me an acrobatics check.
Hugging the tree for dear life.
Come on.
Oh, I gotta open all my character sheet up again.
Oh.
Uh-oh. It's just fucking maximized it all over my screen. Acrobatics. Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Our numbers are growing.
Yay!
Jason's
Hey!
back.
I missed everyone.
Well, I'm dead now, by the way.
Oh, shit.
This is really. I haven't actually dropped out of
Yeah.
Discord at all, but I guess that's.
Lucky you.
I mean,
Lucky.
I like
Aren't
forced
you
closed
special?
it. I like it. Yeah, I closed it.
Oh,
There goes Steph. So maybe she's
you gonna come back?
rejoining.
Yay!
Oh, there's Steph.
Steph! Hello!
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
God.
Jesus Christ, what the hell's happening?
What is this day?
I don't know what is this day.
First day. The 17th, I think. For everyone else, I don't know. Oh no, what happened again? Someone left.
Discord, what is your problem?
Oh no, where am I? Did Aaron have to leave, or is he just get disconnected?
No.
Oh,
No, I think he's trying to
Oh, okay,
reconnect.
I see. Okay, good. I was like panicking there.
Yeah.
I logged into Discord on my phone rather than on my laptop, and that seemed to work.
Well, it kicked me out on the phone and said for a second like the server was deleted, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah,
I
bad,
I
Alex.
came back, but like,
Yeah. And I got linked to like the Discord Twitter straight away. Like I didn't even click on anything; it just happened.
Yeah, it was the outage to like because normally when there's outages, they'll post about it on their
Yeah.
Twitters. That's why it takes you there.
That's
It
weird.
must have just started, so that's why they have nothing.
Yeah, because I remember at first thinking of, oh, Wenzel was disconnected. I was like, wait, why can't I hear anyone? What the fuck?
I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
I was like, now you shall all know my pain.
Karma.
It is you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You did it.
While wait for to come back, Savina, you sort of oak tree that you're on is sort of spread it out of the ground immediately and just sort of swaying with the impact of the water. The impact just sort of knocks you off. And you start to fall down. You take 2 bludgeoning damage as you start to fall through the tree. You do manage to grab hold of a branch just as you find yourself 30 feet from the ground, 10 feet from the water itself. But you are secure for now. We'll give Aaron a second.
Oh God.
Oh, why is everyone dying?
No one's dead yet.
Oh,
I'm gonna hug this tree like an angry cat.
Tara's a goner, guys.
Oh.
I suddenly multi-class druid and turn into a cat.
I can turn to the cat.
That is a good point, actually. The transfer
Cats
give you more hit
hate water.
points. So that's something to consider.
Alex, I have a question whilst we wait
Yes.
for Aaron to log back on. How far does my wand of entanglement reach?
Aaron's back.
Oh,
Yay.
hey!
It reaches as far as an entangle spell.
I don't know how far that reaches. Shay?
Neither do I.
Just look it
Entangle?
up.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's
Is
fine.
it my turn?
Entangle. Spell.
Oh, 90 feet. Nice.
God damn it!
Okay. Urumon, you can see as Savina is free, she managed to grab hold of herself 10 feet above the water at this point. As the tree's starting to short shake and stuff, I need you to make an acrobatics check. You may have advantage because of danger.
Well, hold on.
Hold on.
Just hold on a
So,
second.
Dodge, Shay, and Tara, I can see moving down the river, right?
You can see as the water's just dragging them down. They're being dragged sort of underwater, smashing against the cliff face to the side. Dodge is the furthest away, 130 feet. Shay is 135 feet. Tara is currently 100 feet.
How far does this river go? Like, how far are they going to be washed downstream?
You can make a perception check.
I wasn't ready.
No clue.
Yeah, you're sort of trying to. You kind of sort of a bit asked about faces. Oak tree, you're on it. It's difficult to get your bearings to be able to sort of determine how far away they are.
Well, he'll look to Karnaka and Savina, and instead of making the acrobatics, whatever, he's just going to let go and jump into the water after his friends. But he'll shout as he's falling.
He's coming for us.
You should stay safe. I can't leave them behind. And he just lets go.
Okay, make a athletics check.
I prefer that one.
Oh,
That was acrobatics.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah.
Oh!
God
Yeah,
damn!
that's what I thought.
Wow.
He does a backflip into the fucking water.
You just dive into the water through the bush.
Swan dive.
You just sort of you sort of manage to make your way to the top, and you just use the momentum of the river to start swimming downriver. You can move twice your movement. You're able to follow the river.
You said
So,
Elias is the furthest away?
yes.
Okay. Can't move that far. Is anybody within 60 feet? If I can move twice my
No.
movement?
Tara's the closest within 100.
Alright, he'll move towards her first then.
Okay,
Close
cool.
as he can.
So you managed to move 60 feet down the river itself. You can see Tara's 40 feet ahead of you. Kanaka,
And
you
just
can make a acrobatics check for me.
Oh no.
Okay. Come on, sheet. Open up. There we go. Here we go. I'm great at acrobatics. 15. Look at that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh boy.
As the sort of tree was thrusting its way up, you were able to grab hold of the branches, and you managed to make yourself sort of nice and secure. You've got you're sort of in an X formation, just sort of hugging the tree at this point, like just looking around, like, Ormond, where are you going?
I'm like screaming, yeah. I'm gonna like shuffle the wand of entangle out of my sleeve, and I'm gonna aim it at Savina because I know she looks like a scared bitch right now. I wanna fucking wrap her against this fucking tree.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot the wand of entangle at Savina, and
Savina, are you going to fight that, or are you just going
I'd let it happen.
to... you feel as this sort of the tree sort of sprouts more branches and just sort of hugs you into the tree, almost suffocating you, but you're still able to just like...
I feel like she's not voluntarily breathing right now.
hold on.
You notice as the river still sort of thrashing its way, it does start to build down slightly. Drops at 4 feet. Dodge. I need you to make another athletics check for me.
Yep. Bye.
Oh no.
Oh.
Flush
you're
The
down
one
unable
thing
to,
I have no modifier in.
You're unable to get a sort of decent grip as you sort of you try to grip hold of the cliff face, and you just sort of water splashes into your side, tumbling you over. You crack your skull on the bottom of the riverbed. You take a further 6 bludgeoning damage,
Jesus Christ.
and you find yourself another 100 feet down. Okay, Shay, what would you like to do?
Can I bonus action heal myself? Or even, can I use any spells on myself right now?
Okay, make your athletics check first.
Okay. Where is it? Athletics. Nope, missed it. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. As you sort of tumble around and hit the bottom, you see another branch that looks a bit more sturdier. You manage to sort of make your way towards it. You just put your hand up and grab it. You manage to grab it with both hands, and you just manage to hold yourself secure.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything else?
I mean, so can I use the Cure Wounds, or would it only be my bonus action to heal myself?
So your athletics check is like a reaction. Use your
Okay.
full action.
Right. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna Cure Wounds myself then, because that is... Whoa, I have all my level. There we go.
You do take 6,
Ooh.
an extra... how much health have you?
Okay, then I would I'd be down then if I take damage there.
Oh
No.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do still take damage as you crash
Okay.
into the side. You manage to grab hold of the branch, but another sort of wave just crashes you as you slam into the cliff face, and your grips lets go.
Don't you worry,
And,
Big Papa's coming.
You do fall unconscious. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
You do
dude.
fall unconscious, unfortunately,
God
Oh,
damn.
God.
as your body starts to float down.
What's the
Whee!
drowning
Oh,
roll
no.
when you're unconscious? Because there's no holding your breath.
Yeah.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Me?
Yes.
Oh,
Boy.
Okay. That's fine.
no.
Tara, I need you to make another athletics check with disadvantage.
Well, then he says it's fine. He just continues.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I
it
did.
is.
It's an 11. It's not bad.
It's an 11. You feel as your body is once again dragged down,
Yep.
crashed into the side of the cliff face. You take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Find yourself another 100 feet.
Oh, guys, this is bad. This is so bad.
Savina, you feel yourself nice and secure within the tree. It is crushing you slightly. Is there anything?
Cry.
You can see Callie sort of by your shoulder.
She's just like, what is this bitch problem that she's flying? Yeah, that's all I do.
Okay, cool. So you're sticking there. Urmon, you can feel yourself swimming. I need you to make another athletics check to try and continue to swim.
Oh no!
Oh shit.
I had to roll like I have a +6. What a 5!
You feel as the water crashes against your back, puts you underneath. You slam against the bottom of the riverbed, taking 4 damage. You feel as the force of it drags your body down as you've 100 feet down.
Well, it's probably faster than what I would have swam. So that's...
You see yourself past Shay, just past Shay by about 10 feet.
Well, can I grab her?
You can try and make an acrobatics check to grab her.
Oh.
I will use my inspiration.
Oh?
Yeah, you can use your inspiration. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey!
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
I will
fine.
say you're able to grab her and you'll into your embrace.
So he just like grabs her and then does like that fetal position, bracing himself. With, like,
Yeah, you're trying to sort of hold her above the water as well at the same time, so that she's not taking any water in.
Oh.
Yep.
Kanaka, you can see as your companions are flying further and further away.
I don't know what the fuck I could do. Oh, how far away are they from us?
At this point,
400 feet for Dodge.
you can't even
probably.
see Dodge. He's just so far down. And
Tara's
Tara also
probably the
difficult to see. Urmon and Shay just maybe is in range at like 160.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
This day. Oh, God.
Oh. How close is Tara again, sorry?
Tara's gone. You can't see her. She's
Yep.
Okay.
As you're standing on the tree, you do feel as the structure of the tree is being crashed into by the water. And you start to hear the oak crack.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Ah! Oh my god, I can't believe I'm about to do this. I'm going to apologise to Savina. And I am going to Eldritch Blast the bottom of the tree and release the oak, and hopefully it will take us downriver and they will have something.
Okay.
I hope
Make
she's
it-
not on the bottom of it.
She's
an
not.
attack roll.
Sorry?
Make an attack roll for me.
Okie dokie.
Okay, cool. You just on the tree. As the tree starts to snap and break forward of the force of the water rushing in from the impact of your Eldritch Blast as well. I do need you and Savina to make... Savina's fine, because she's sort of stuck in there. I do need you to make a acrobatics check.
That's fine.
Well, I'll be fine until I'm tied to a tree when it's underwater.
as the tree crashes, the impact of hitting the water drags you under the water. You hit your head and you take 3 bludgeoning damage as you smash your head on the water, and you begin to fall downstream as well.
That is fine, as long as Savina is okay attached to the tree.
I don't know, Alex. Am I now tied to a branch that's under the water?
You're okay for the moment. You're okay for the moment. The tree is side by side with you. Karnaka is down. Dodge. I do need you to make another athletics check.
I need some excuse for it to be acrobatics, damn it.
Come on.
Nope!
That's not when you died.
We are bad at this.
Good thing
Yes.
Ash is on the trail right behind us, guys.
Oh,
Good.
good.
And you feel as the water level is sort of dropping down again at this point, down to sort of 12 feet. You feel as it sort of the water comes down, it sort of crashes into you as you're sort of further down, dragging you underneath, crashing you against the bottom of the bed, and then crashing to the side of the cliff as you take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Oh God.
Mm-mm-mm.
I got one! Oh, I'm still up! I'm still up!
Oh,
We lost one, so we're good.
However, you
However,
do crash into a large boulder.
Ooh, a
Really?
boulder.
As there to be a sort of river is there. It sort of splits into 2. Body crashes into a.
What my bill?
Just going to. I'm going to move you guys onto a different map now.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
shit.
another
Oh.
map.
am I taking damage when I crash into this boulder?
No. That's
Oh,
that's part of the
That's the
damage that you took.
damage you took.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Can you speak Wenzel?
Yeah, I loaded up Chrome.
Ah.
Because the app was being retarded.
Mhm.
Apparently, it registers me on both right now.
I'm on a map by myself. This ain't pretty.
Oh, damn.
Oh Jesus.
I'm all alone,
Okay.
guys.
We're
Oh, we're
coming.
coming.
Yeah. Also, a giant
Might
tree's
die by
coming.
I'll be right there with you. Just give me a second.
Okay, Shay, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Oh
Cool. Where is it? Why? There we go.
no!
Okay.
Okay, that's
yes!
good. That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yes,
is.
yes.
Mhm.
Ermon, you can see as you sort of lift Shay out of the water, she starts spitting some water out automatically. Tara,
Stay with me.
I
No!
need another athletics check, I'm afraid.
Oh!
No! You're right there with me, dear. Right there.
Yeah.
How much health do you have?
9.
Okay, cool. You feel as your body again is dragged underneath as you're crashing around as you take 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Mm,
God.
So short rest off this, guys. Yeah.
Long rest. would be
How
Long
about
rest?
Yeah.
Maybe a long rest.
God.
I'm going back to town. I'm out.
Yeah, that might be.
And you do see, you can barely sort of make out Ash ahead of you as the.
Dodge.
Dodge.
Not
Dodge.
Ash.
Dodge! Sorry, Dodge!
Ash is here!
Elias.
Save
guys.
us.
We're doing alright.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna get there and die on at your feet.
Savina, you can see as the tree that you're on is starting to sort of turn around. And as you sort of go underwater, I need you to make a constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Come on, you're hardy as fuck. You got it.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah!
You just take this massive breath, and you actually feel the entangle spell sort of relax a little bit and give you a bit of room to take in this massive breath as your body just swings underwater with the tree itself. You're still okay there. Urumon, I will need an athletics check from you.
All right.
Oh God.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you managed to stabilize yourself, just sort of get back into the rhythm of the water itself. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yes. I would like to.
Rage.
Would it be possible to tie my rope to Shay just in case?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Or is the water too much?
You can try and do it. Let's have you make it just a plain dexterity throw. Yeah.
Oh,
you-
damn!
Yeah,
As you're
damn
sort of
right.
struggling with the river, you are dragged under the water a little bit as you take 4 bludgeoning damage. But
That ain't.
What happened? Oh no, we lost the. We lost.
We lost
The
Alex.
DM is
Alex?
gone.
We lost
Alex.
Alex.
Alex!
All right. So who's new acting DM? What happened?
Jason had a
well-
good run about on
Not
Tuesday.
it, not it, not it.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, sorry, I disconnected and then reconnected, I think. Okay. Would you like to move with the river, Ramon?
Yeah. Trying to like find a, or yes. I'll
Yep.
move with the river. That's it.
Okay, cool. You do manage to move a further 60 feet, so you're now 220 feet down, and you got Shay in your arms as well.
Oh.
In
Okay.
the arms of a dragonborn.
At this point,
For 50 cents a day.
Are there piranha? Something.
Dodge, you notice as a kobold,
Oh, fucking
Oh
asshole.
no!
and what looks like the riding drakes from earlier emerge from the southern portion
Oh,
towards
shit.
you,
Oh, shit.
sling in hand.
Oh, fuck.
Am I
We're
prone?
not-
Please tell me I'm prone.
He
We're
fires
not-
it towards you, and you feel as it smashes into the side of your head.
Oh.
6 bludgeoning damage.
I'm out.
This is not a good time for this.
No. No.
I knew I could catch up to you. Tanaka. You're currently in the water. You need to make
I
an
am.
athletics check for me.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
How far
Oh.
can they move a turn?
The kobolds on the riding tricks,
Yeah.
they got 50 feet. movement.
Oh, because if I've moved 100 feet every turn, then for them to catch up to me, they already had to dash to get here.
Oh, they're already ahead of you.
How were they?
Yeah.
Never mind.
They were already at 100. We sent Volatoy after.
Okay. Kanaka. You feel as your body is jolted and crashed around a bit. You take 4 bludgeoning damage. You're able to sort of stabilize yourself as you grab onto the side of a cliff face. What would you like to do?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Everyone's still going downstream, aren't they?
They are.
How far away are they from me?
You are currently about 50 feet downstream. Moving quicker at this point, though.
Okay.
You can grab on. You can try grab onto the tree if you want. That seems to
I would like to try a grab onto the tree.
be okay. Make an acrobatics check.
Oh. Acrobatics, I do get
Yeah,
Nice
cool.
little
You
11.
see as the tree sort of turns around, and you see all the entangling roots, and you grab hold of them, and you just sort of see yourself face to face with Savina. Give her sort of a quick smile as you manage to grab on and use the momentum of the tree to make your way downstream.
Yes. Savina up into the air.
Not on this time because you've used your
Okay.
action.
That's cool. That's fine.
Mr. Dodge, I will require a death saving throw. Okay, nice. Yeah, wicked.
He's fine.
You managed to.
He ain't drowning.
Shay, I do need a death saving throw from you though.
Oh no.
No, but Urborn has kept me safe.
Oh, as Urmon's trying to sort of tie this rope onto you, he sort of drags you under the water a little bit at the same time, and you sort of take in some water. Tara, athletics check from you, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
nice!
You
I'm
managed
still
to
gonna go down.
stabilize yourself. You can see the kobolds ahead of you. You think you can use the momentum of the stream to get a good sort of. You can't swim, but you think you
Nope.
can manage to keep yourself at least up atop the water and use the momentum of the water itself to move up to 60 feet if you like.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get next to dodge.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast. Can I do that? Do I have an action?
Yep, that's just your movement, so you have an action
Okay,
there.
okay. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whisper on the kobold. Yeah,
Yep, cool.
let's do that at first level. Like those
Right,
rolls,
right,
2 1s
cool,
and
yeah.
a 5.
You cast sort of dissonant whispers, and you see as the kobold in its hurry to get off the drake ends up beneath the drake that it's riding. And you see as the drake slams its foot into its face, its skull
Nice.
crushing against the ground.
Nice.
Okay, cool. With that in mind, the drakes converge upon you.
Mm-hmm. I have 3 hit points. Go ahead.
Okay, one of them lunges towards you with its mouth. As you see, as it grabs the whole lot of water in front of you, swings its tail back around you as you take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh. This isn't good.
Nope.
Also, because I just realized I'm the only solo healer here. I think no one else has healing purpose, do they?
Yep.
I'm this Ash.
You feel as the other kobold drake next to you slams his tail into you, forcing you underground. You take a death saving fail.
Oh yeah, me. Don't I get 2 even?
It's 2 of its crit, isn't it?
But it's an auto
It's
crit
an
if
auto
I'm
crit
down.
if she's down.
Yep.
Oh,
take 2
then
fails.
I'm afraid you take 2.
Yep.
Don't
The
orcs
other
have like that standing at 1 HP?
Yes.
Relentless
yeah.
endurance, yeah.
Yes, you do.
Phew! I'm not down. I'm at 1. And then I take how many?
Take a further 14 as you feel the other kobold riding drake lunge its teeth into you.
Yep, I'm down now.
You
I
are
mean,
just
it's
down.
for
Oh, God.
a hit. That's nice.
Yeah, but that's good. Like that. That's
These
good.
other riding drakes, without the kobold to command them, start to move their way to the south.
Okay, good, good.
Savina, you are on the tree. You notice as the water around you starts to lower down to about 12 feet, the tree is starting to lose momentum at this point as there's not enough water to sort of push it down. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I missed that.
I'm still in the water.
Nope, the tree's come back around. You're not in the water anymore, but it feels like the tree is going to start losing momentum and potentially sort of grind to a halt as the water level is lowering. It's at 12 feet at this point.
People still like super far away from me.
Yeah, so within the tree itself, you guys are about 150 feet down, so they're still about 150 feet away from you.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Just because I'm not really aware of what's going on around me.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Nope, still panicking.
You're just panicking. Difficult for you to breathe as the roots of the entanglement seem to tighten against you again. Ramon, you still have Shay in your arms. What would you like to do? You have managed to stable yourself. You managed to stable yourself, and you're swimming confidently in the river at this point.
If I were to like allow it to take me, could I get to the first set of?
Okay, so you're currently 220 feet. If you allow it to take you and use your dash action as well, you can get to 340 feet, which is there. Actually, no, it's right next to it, but you wouldn't have an action left.
Ah, damn. I was just gonna use the full momentum and just collide into it.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Actually, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
That
Let's
makes sense.
do that.
So, holding Shay behind you.
He's just growling and screaming as he's charging towards, or letting the river collide into the Drake with him.
Okay, let's have you make a. I guess that would be like an opportunistic weapon. So if you just make
Improvised
a,
weapon.
yeah, just make a strength roll.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, cool. You feel as your body just crashes into this Drake. Put your shoulder into it at the last moment. Roll 1d4 plus your strength for your attack.
Crush it. Nice.
Hey, cool, yeah. I feel as you crush it, Tara's body just sort of sinks below the rock, and you crush it. And you see as its elongated body, its head smacks into the rock behind you as it takes the 7 damage.
Wait, what happened?
Urmon crashed the Drake into the rock behind you.
Okay, I was like, did I take
I
damage?
didn't crash. I was a little nervous about that, but you're okay.
Karnaka, you have a panicked. You're on top of the oak tree at this point. You have a panicked Savina on top of you. Underneath you, sorry.
For fuck's sake. How far away are we from the rest of everyone?
You feel the tree is moving with the last sort of momentum of the river that it's able to build up. You think you'll get to about 250 feet, leaving you 150 feet away from the rest of your party.
Okie dokie. I am going to aim away from Savina and break the entangle roots on the thing, because hopefully she can hold on to this tree now, seeing as we're not being whipped away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to Eldritch Blast the roots, and hopefully they break her free.
Okay. Yeah, cool. You fire against the sort of entanglement, and Savina, you feel as you're sort of let loose a little bit. Make an acrobatics check for me to try and hold on.
Can I help? Would I be able to hold on to her and then Eldritch Blast it? Would that have been able to do that?
So the help action isn't action. So.
Can I grab hold of her skirt? can I use my
You're
reaction
gonna
to grab
undress
hold of
her
her skirt?
now.
No, I'm trying to help.
Well, either way, Savina's gonna have to make an acrobatics check.
Hi, friends.
For fuck's sake!
Oh god.
Can I give her my inspiration?
An
An 11
Yes.
is not going to help.
You can give her your inspiration if you wish.
I don't know if it's gonna help, but yeah, fuck it, I'll do it.
Okay. You see as the entanglement breaks off, you see as Savina starts to fall away. You manage to grab hold of her skirt and you just sort of hold it onto her with all your might. Make an athletics check for me as well, Kanaka.
I can see your knickers. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh,
Yeah, but
come
unfortunately, you're trying to hold on as much as you can, but you just can't muster your strength. Your dodging knee just sort of buckles, and you sort of drop her. Savina, you crash into the water below as your skull cracks. You make 3 bludgeoning damage. And Urmon, you see as Savina crashes into the bank just beside Dodge there.
Savina, you okay?
Crying.
Well, at least
She's
I'm
like
breathing.
hysterically crying.
Dodge, death saving throw, please.
Over.
Oh boy!
Is that one fail, one success?
Yep.
One fail, one success, yeah.
Come on. Have him attack me. Come on.
No, no.
Kill off dodge.
Shay,
No.
same for you.
Oh god. Come on, Brandon.
Good lord. Come on, guys.
Who feels what's it says?
Tara,
Yeah.
same for you.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't trust the button?
No,
You can see as the Cabal Drakes are starting looking around at this point, and they start to realizing that they're sort of outnumbered, and seeing the size of Urmon, they start to run away.
Thank God.
He roars at them in kind.
Using their
We're
full
outnumbered.
movement. Body-wise, you are.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
And following the lead of their friends, you see as the Cabal Drakes just back it. They're actually off the map now. Savina.
Am I on land
Get
now? Is that what I heard?
So at this point, the river seems to have settled down. It seems to be at a depth of 5 feet, but you're sort of clinging towards this sort of boulder. You can see Dodge and Tara up against this boulder as well next to you, struggling for life at this point. Urmon also has Shay tucked in his. I don't really know. I don't really know what he's doing with Shay.
In his backpack.
Wow.
I get my feet under me enough to like move without swimming.
How tall are you?
I think 7 foot or something like that.
Yeah, so at some points, as long as you're holding the cliff, you can get
No,
your feet
she's
down.
not that tall.
The water's just like sloshing around your sort of mouth level. Occasionally, it's covering over you, but it's not enough to sort of cause you to drown. But it's still right up at your sort of between your sort of top of your forehead to the bottom of your chin, sort of fluctuating as the water's rushing down.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I'm aware that temporary HP does not make people conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use false life to have people stop rolling death saves?
So what you can do, if you use your false life, I'll let you make a medicine check with advantage.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Who would you like to do it on?
I'm gonna have to do it on Tara.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. She has less fails.
I mean, it makes sense from a character standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not aware of who's dying more just by
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
You just see your friend down. I mean, Ermon would do the same for Shay.
And I mean, Urmon has Shay as well, so it's different.
Mm-hmm. Still dying.
So if you want to make a medicine check with advantage and just knock off one of your false life uses.
Please work.
Yeah,
Yes,
cool.
yes, yes.
So Tara, you do stabilize.
That's good.
Oh god.
That's good.
Ramon, you can see that the immediate threat seems to have passed. You're able to stand up in this river without any sort of issue. You're able to move freely as well if you wish.
He will go over to this bank and like
Yep.
pull Shay up on it,
Mhm.
and kind of like looking her over, very panicked, and just kind of yelling out, "I need a health potion, something! Somebody get over here!" And he'll like try to like, I guess, wash the water out of her lungs by chest compression.
Are
Okay,
you
you can
aware that
make
the
a-
2 people with health potions are out right now?
You can
against
make a
the-
medicine check. Yes, okay. You do manage to stabilize Shay, fortunately. Which would have put you on the map, actually, Shay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm in his backpack. It's fine.
Alex had already assumed Shay was going to die.
Yeah, so Shay, you do manage to stabilize.
Oh, I'm stable.
Ramon, you can see us. Shay just spits out all this water and then she just falls unconscious in front of you. You think she's okay. She's breathing very shallowly.
Drops to the ground, breathing very heavily. And
His shade.
Karnaka, you feel as the tree that you're on crashes to the ground about 300 feet down this narrow sort of canyon path. And
Here
you
I
see
come.
you can see your companions about
Oh,
40 feet
God.
ahead of you. You can see Dodge seems to be in the most trouble.
Oh shit! Fucking hell! It's so far away from me. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And okay, I have a question now.
Yes.
It's not gonna work because I'm not a fucking arcane trickster. Fuck. I was gonna ask, would you allow me to cast Mage Hand and feed Dodge a health potion? But that is both an action and an action, so it's
Okay.
not a thing.
Make a sleight of hand check. Do it with disadvantage.
Come on.
Okay, 13.
That's okay.
That's not bad.
You manage to grab hold of the potion. You're sort of trying to pull it out. You see as it's sort of shaking, and you get the feeling if you continue to pull it, you're going to drop it and break it.
Oh
So
no.
you sort of give up on the idea at that point.
Son of a tits.
Dodge. I will need a death saving throw from you.
Oh, he was ready.
Yes!
Oh no, big boy.
Start to stabilize slightly. Shay, you're unable to do anything. Tara, you're unable to do anything. Sabina, you can see his Dodge fighting for his breath at this point. You can see water just trickling out of his mouth where he's sort of taking in a lot of water as he sort of crashed into this boulder previously. What would you like to do?
Do I see like Karnaka trying to mage hand the potion out?
Yeah, you can see as she's trying to pull this potion out. You can see as it's sort of poking out of Dodge's pocket at this point. You see as the mage hand sort of gives up on it.
Keep my grip on the rock, and I'll try to feed him the health potion.
Okay, roll 2d4 plus 2. Okay, cool, yeah. You manage to sort of move all the water out of the way, pour it down his neck and dodge. You do manage to cough up some water and come to conscious. Arms outstretched against this boulder. You see Savina next to you.
I meant to do that.
Best line.
And you guys think the majority of the threat is over. Tara and Shay still seem to be in pretty rough shape. The both of you are actually in pretty rough shape at this point.
I'm gonna give Tara the other healing potion.
Okay. Roll the potion. Cool.
I fucking need water.
Smell better now, though. And he winks.
Tara kisses him.
I allow it.
I allow it.
All right.
As that's happening, Kay just like goes, ugh, and she's gonna grab hold of Savina and drag her out of the water.
Oh, I thought she was gonna kiss.
I'm gonna grab Savina and do one on her. Yeah, I'm gonna drag Savina to the riverbed and then kiss her. No, I'm joking.
Shaking like a leaf.
I gotta get going, but
Bye, Aaron.
You saved Shay.
Thank you very
it's
much,
fine.
Thank you for saving me.
Yay!
good stuff. Peace out. I gotta.
See you next week, Aaron.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Bye, Adam.
Bye, Aaron.
I don't know how to leave. I guess I'm just in here forever now.
You should have like a tiny hang up icon in the thing, if that makes sense.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like a
yeah. I
phone.
had to go back because I was like had that.
Okay.
Bye, Aaron.
Oh, wow. Ugh.
Okay. Shay still looks in pretty bad shape. You can see everyone sort of hanging over him at this point, just pumping her chest, pumping the water out of her. She does seem to be breathing, but
Hey, you two, a fucking healing potion over here, please.
Yeah, Tara would get over there. She has a healing potion.
Oh.
Is attempting to hug the life out of UK.
I will allow it slightly. Just.
Hmm.
It's okay. You're all right. I'm sorry about the whole entangle thing. I thought you were screaming that you couldn't swim and you were panicking, and it was just kind of throwing me off. So I thought I'd just fucking tie you to the tree. But are you okay? Do you have? You feeling all right?
I'm okay now.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's okay. I fucking hate water. I fucking hate kobolds as well. Is she awake?
Yep. So who's feeding another potion? Tara, if you want to roll
I won't
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you're talking
Nice.
to Savina, you see as Tara feeds Shay the potion.
Yeah.
Spits water up against the cliff next to him.
My God. What happened?
Water fucking.
And
Was that natural? Hey, Dodge, was that natural? Does that happen around here?
Oh, I can't imagine that a rock slide into a tidal wave into an ambush is natural, but I could be mistaken. I doubt it
That
though.
was fucking ridiculous.
I can give us a kind of group heal if people are in need.
I think you need to rest more than anything. We should take a rest before we move on.
But what if we get ambushed while we're resting? I mean, it might be better to try and heal up now in case some of us are worse.
It's up to you. I'm fine, but
Where are we gonna rest once we get closer to the hideout? Because we're not in good enough shape to infiltrate them.
So we're kind of stranded in a precarious position. This isn't the safest place to rest either.
perhaps we can just rest up there for the evening, and Kay will point up to where the thing is going. That seems good a
Yes.
place as any. I'd rather not stay this close to the bank, though.
Yes, I agree.
Fucking hate water.
Not just you.
Are there any nearby caves or outcroppings or anything like that that I can?
Nothing immediately available from where you're sort of standing. You can see that there's a small little path towards the side here where the kobold and the drakes came out of.
Yeah, I'd prefer to avoid that.
You want to have a look down there?
No, not at all.
Oh,
Where Kanaka's pointing out is a sort of
yeah.
small copse of trees that are all together. They're slight against the cliff face, so there's only sort of one entrance into this small bunch of trees. So it does look like it's a potential place to defend if attack was incoming.
Sounds good.
I can't believe we got out of that. That was ridiculous.
That was horrible.
Well, what is it with you two? Can neither of you swim? Did you never get taught?
Well, no.
Tara,
Oh.
really? You said you grew up in a tribe with 7 brothers, and no one once threw you into a river to teach you how to swim.
Well, no.
I don't know
Because-
how to swim.
We were mostly running on plains and there wasn't a lot of water. And if there was a river, it was always really shallow.
Also, water like that is far too powerful. Even if we could swim, we would have got swept away anyway.
One should know how to maneuver their body in such rivers, in such waters even, regardless of how powerful. And what about you, Savina? One look at that rushing water and you turned into a fucking ghost. You were frozen solid.
I had the best experiences with
I'm sorry you cut out then. Could you say that again?
I was like, I had the best experience.
With.
I've not had the best experiences with water in the past.
Right. I think you both need to learn how to swim. Starting now, and I push Sabina into it. No, I don't. I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Well, after this, I don't really want to learn. I just want to stay away from water.
That's going to be difficult.
That will be incredibly difficult, seeing as we're going to walk up alongside it again.
Yes.
Look,
Well, it probably takes forever to learn.
it really doesn't. I didn't grow up in the best of circumstances either, but I know how to swim. What time is it now, Alex?
We've probably got a couple of hours of daylight left. It's probably about 6 p.m. now. It's quite dark within the canyon itself at this point, though, because it's very sort of shaded from the sunlight.
Yeah. I don't think... Do we want to move on for the evening, or are we quite happy sleeping here for tonight?
I think he is the best.
Okay.
Elias, do you agree to rest here for the night?
Oh yeah, I'm wiped.
Do you want healing? Just you're looking pretty bad. Well, I mean, you and Tara are both looking quite bad.
Take care of your people.
Just for your little precautions, I will cast Healing Spirit.
It's the little dancing satyr.
Everybody run through it quickly.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, lasts for a minute, so you can just go in and edit to heal up or whatever. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just all stand in it.
Yeah, should we just all roll? Is it a d6? Should we just all roll a d6?
I mean, yeah,
So you
D6
should
is
roll a lot more than one d6 if you.
Yeah, for every turn that you're in it.
You move in
Oh,
and out,
so-
in and out.
Wait, so
So-
we have 10 turns, right?
Yeah.
We should
So
just
we could have,
divide
like-
them.
Like, is that 2d6 each, or just about? Who needs the most healing? I mean, Tara and Dodge need the most healing.
Mhm.
So y'all should
probably
stand,
too.
and Shay as well. Yeah, y'all should probably stand
I
in
mean-
it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not like you have to stop in the thing. You just have to move through it.
Yeah, you just pass for
So
it.
literally everybody will be able to heal for the full
10
minute
DC?
every time they move through. Yeah, it's a little
Mhm.
broken for an
Oh.
out of combat
That's
healing thing,
insane.
but
Yeah. It's just I just want it to be a good
But
thing for
that's-
group heals.
that's what it's there for.
That'll do.
Yeah.
I'll roll. I'll take a d6.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
god.
Well, you all get 10d6, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
but
damn!
So
I will roll 10d6.
I will roll 9 more.
Excellent. I'm
Actually,
fully healed.
Very bad. I'm not
yeah,
gonna be-
full.
Okay, good. I'm back.
36, I'll take that.
I'll take.
Oh god.
I won't bother rolling because I only need half of that to hit back.
Damn.
I mean,
That-
yeah.
So
You,
many
when you
Every
get
things.
die,
6,
I'm
you'll be
okay.
fine. So if you
Alright.
got 10 once, you're going to be fine.
In case we get ambushed and the rest. There we go.
Excellent. Okay,
Yes.
and I believe we are going to take a long rest.
Yes.
I will take the first watch, and I will get Volotoy back as well whilst doing so, if you all would like to sleep.
Volotoy won't come back until the end.
I
the
know,
end
my
of your
poor baby. I know. My baby boy.
Cool. Are there any other people that want to be on watch together?
Oh, can I-
Immediately
Well,
gets very, very panicked because she's going to open her bag.
oh no. Everything is drenched.
Oh no.
Dived.
Is anyone else getting Wenzel breaking up? I think.
I was
Yep.
just sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
Mm.
gone.
Wenzel?
Wenzel.
Wenzel?
Wenzel.
I can hear all of you. Hold on.
No,
I
there we go.
can
Hey.
We
hear
can
you.
hear you now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Discord.
Last time we heard, you were going to your bag.
Mm-hmm.
Just checking to see if any of my books survived the water damage.
Oh,
Oh no.
Not something that I considered. Okay, let me make it.
I can burn them, make them drag.
Put them by the fire.
Okay, yeah. How many books do you have?
Two books. Yep.
Which books do you have? You have your spell book and
In my Book of the Dead.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Are they protected in any way?
Just in my leather messenger bag.
Do they have any sort of vellum or anything like that on them?
Just paper and leather bound books.
Okay.
Oh, stinky leather.
I'm gonna give myself a DC 10, and if I roll higher than that, all right, your books are safe.
Hey!
You're only in and out with the water slightly. You weren't in it for a particularly long
A little wet,
time.
but
So,
the pages aren't running.
yeah, it was only 12 seconds that you were probably in the water in total. So they're okay.
Relief.
And was there anyone that wanted to take watches together?
I would like to take a watch with Savina.
Okay.
Or
Anyone else?
Well, I know Tara would like to take a watch with Dodge.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
And
Shane or more, mate, if there's any more, I don't know.
Because you can do 2 watches. Yeah, you could do one with Pheromone and one without. But
Yeah, Pheromone would just, she would just
actually be
probably
on watch when you're on watch.
I mean, you're not going to be able to roleplay over.
No, I would just be like,
No, that's fine.
Like, just say, like,
Okay,
yeah.
so Kanaki, you're taking the first watch,
Yes.
and you would like to discuss something with Savina, or as your comrades sort of settle into their sort of bed rolls. You've just got the fire burning. Get a nice bit of heat. Try and dry yourself off.
Yeah. Kay will just tug on Savina's elbow and just bring her to the side of the waterbed. Just that. I feel like you know what I'm about to ask you, and I would appreciate your honesty. What is it about the water that you do not like? Why did you freeze so much?
Well, when I was younger, I have friends back home couldn't swim. A lot of them could.
Sure.
Down to the river, and a lot of them were more than they should. I saw that I wasn't swimming. Decided to throw me in.
Right. And
Weren't there. I died.
You died.
I mean, I did go unconscious, but I remember waking up. Lungs.
That is awful.
Such panic before, such helplessness. I never even tried to learn.
Kay feels like a bitch for saying you need to fucking learn how to swim, you can't. I'm very sorry that happened to you. And I'm sorry for the way that I spoke to you about it. I didn't know, but you must realize if we are going to be traipsing across this side of the planet, this side of the world, that there may be situations where we run into such things like this. It's a very valuable skill to have. And who knows, not me or maybe anyone here will be able to save you next time. Just, I'm glad you're all right, okay? But
give it some thought. Please, just... You're far too young to be drowning in rivers and whatnot. Okay?
He's gonna hug you again.
Oh.
Let's just get some rest for the evening, okay? And stop hugging me.
Yeah, and I think you guys are settled in by the fire. Kanaka, you kind of place yourself on the other side, like scared that Savina will potentially hug you again. And the hour sort of passes. No, doesn't seem like there's any sort of threat or anything to be worried about. You sort of motion for Tara and Dodge to wake. You give Tara a sort of a wink as you sort of wake her up at the same time as Dodge.
When Kate wakes up Dodge, she's gonna like look at him, and she's gonna give him like the dirtiest glare. Like, don't you fucking hurt her. Do you understand me?
Dodge just
And Kay just walks away. she doesn't even wait for anything. Kay just walks away.
Okay, and Tara Dodge, you can see as Savina and Kanaka settle themselves into their bedrolls, nice by the fire, keeping themselves warm.
Yeah, Tara will just sit by the fire and just watch him.
You creep.
Yep.
Why are you doing that?
What?
You're just staring. Why are you just staring? I mean, I know we're supposed to be on watch, but I don't quite think that's what you're supposed to be watching there, dear.
Well, have you ever been this close to death before?
Well, sure, lots of times. In
Do you
my
wanna
line
tell
of
me?
work, you pretty much live near death.
Do you want to tell me about it?
Not particularly.
What else do you want to do?
Hey Tara, there's a real. You're thirsty.
You're asleep!
I'm talking in my sleep.
Holy fuck.
Right now, I'd like to keep watch, because
Well,
there's some kobolds. I don't know if you remember. It went pretty quick. But there are these kobolds, you see, and they've been kind of dicks this whole time, and I'd like to make sure that we don't die. But, and I mean this with the utmost sincerity, ask me again when we get back to town.
okay, let's keep watch then.
Okay. You eventually wake up. You give Shay a nudge. Shay, you decide to take your first watch by yourself, giving Naramon some more rest after his brave heroics earlier.
Yep.
While you're on rest, while you're on
no.
break, sorry. What's it called? While you're on watch. I would like you to give me a perception check.
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Oh shit.
My eyes. Yeah, loading. Perception. Okay.
As you sort of look around, you realise that you guys have been sort of turned about on yourself. So as you began to make your way into the canyon, you were moving east. You see now that you've started to move west. And as you're sort of just trying to take in your surroundings and stuff, you do hear coming further west, sort of
Okay.
well, you can only assume to be some sort of roar coming from that direction. It seems to be quite far off at this point.
Okay. I will kind of I'll kind of go to Elias and kind of wake him up, I guess.
What?
I'm sorry. There's
No, I said when we get back to town.
I don't. What? What are you talking about? Elias, it's
What?
Shane.
Sorry. What?
Shane.
What?
I heard there was no like bestial noises down the way. I don't know. It could be maybe the drakes. I just thought I'd warn you.
Bestial noises.
But it didn't sound human. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, you got an idea how far down? I mean, would it sound like it could have just been a bear? I mean, what are we talking here?
I don't know how to describe it. Yeah.
Great.
It doesn't sound like a bear to you.
No,
it sounds more monstrous. Should we say?
Sounds more monstrous. I just thought I'd warn you because you're supposed to be the kind of guide, and I thought you might know what it could be. So...
I'm a guide who has never been here before. I'm again, as your friend reminded me, I'm the worst kind of guide. But Alex, would I have any idea what it could be?
You can make a perception check to see whether you can hear it for yourself or make out any sort of. No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
Do you need me to stay up with you? I mean, is that your concern? If
No, I
you're
just
afraid to
thought...
be alone, I'll stay up with you. It's all right.
Please, Elias, I am not afraid to be alone. It's fine. Just go to sleep. I just thought you might be. I just thought you might be more informative.
You expect
I guess.
to be alone a lot, do you? Is that your outlook on? Anyway.
Go back to sleep.
All right. Good talk.
Mr. Dodge, you can take some inspiration, I think, for your actions during this session.
Yeah.
Oh, I was driving for most of it.
You're not Mr. Dodge.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
All right.
Why did my brain?
All right.
Alright.
The rest of your watch seems to go without any trouble. You do wake Urimon up. Probably tell him about what you sort of heard, but he doesn't have any sort of answers either.
Yeah, and I just keep thanking him. That's all. I'm just being really annoying, thanking him a lot. I'm being that person.
And the rest of your time passes smoothly. No sort of interruptions throughout the whole night. You guys do gain the full long rest.
Woohoo!
Lovely things that brings along with it.
What does that bring with it?
Well, you can gain all your health back. You gain half your hit dice back if you
Oh Lord.
you did. Take no short rest.
I just wanted to continue this accent.
You can prepare some more spells, different spells. What you want to do?
That's all you, Shay.
And we're gonna get that damn ethereal raven back that I thought I'd gotten rid of.
It's my big base.
I think. Okay. I'm going to take. That's for a trace.
Might be a good time to end the session as well, maybe.